Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SimPlay Motorsport for rounds 11 and 12 of the season. We're into the back half of the season now here at the Brno Grand Prix circuit in the Czech Republic. I'm Matthew Duffin, your host as always, and I am delighted to be joined by Andy once again. Evening, Andy.
Hello, Matt. Welcome along, everybody. Should be a good race tonight. We've got the Pro AM series of the GT3 Series SimPlay Motorsport at the wonderful motorbike, mainly MotoGP track here off Brno in the Czech Republic. It's a tricky circuit to get right in these GT3s, lots of hairpins and slower corners. So I imagine that cars like the Lamborghini will definitely be favourable around here. Possibly the Merc AMGs will be expected to struggle, but then again, this Pro Am series is mainly comprised of the Lambos. We see there Aidan Bennett getting a little bit out of shape, and a couple of guys putting back all three of those cars you see there in synchronised spinning there from those guys. You see Aidan Bennett is round and onto the grass. It looks like he's getting it going, pointing in the right direction once again. We saw a Porsche getting it right through that corner as opposed to the other guys, so that was Liam Gamer there blitzing those guys that came through on those cold tyres. But yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight. Oh, we see everybody getting it wrong there.
Oh dear.
So
great start to the qualifying session here. Everybody's sliding all over the place.
Yeah, these Pro Am lads maybe showing why they're not quite in the Pro Series just yet. Getting to grips with this track early on in the session. Obviously the track pretty stone cold at this point. Well, not the track, but the tyres on the cars. So these guys just getting the cars up to temperature and ready for a proper assault here on this track. We've got a dry qualifying session here. But what are we expecting in the race, Matt? I believe torrential rain is on the cards.
Yeah, fog with rain, I do believe, is the forecast for the race. To start off race 1, that rolls into the fog, and then it rolls reverse for race 2. So, should be an absolute cracker. We could see a few spinners off the line. It's going to be interesting to see who can keep their foot in, or who can get the best start, should I say, be a bit more gentle on the accelerator as they pull off the line. We'll see which guys have got the practice in here.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be a case of who's done their homework on the track conditions. We did a little bit of practice last week after the race at Daytona, and we saw what some of these guys have got to offer. But I think the most of the guys in that lobby were in the Pro Series. I'm just trying to see if any of the lads in this room were in that lobby. I'm not quite sure if they were really. Big Boy Brazier, we're hoping for a big performance from him this week, but the last couple of weeks, Matt, he has been absolutely plagued by his broadband.
Yeah.
So whether or not it's going to hold out this time, we'll have to wait and see.
Not been the way to go for him, really. We've looked at it and he said he should be winning this title, but he's just not able to. With the poor internet connections, he's just not been able to get it on to. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm saying here. The connection's not been there for him to be able to get at the front of the grid and keep it where he has been. We've seen in a few races where he's led by a good margin. He's just not been able to hold the connection, if you like. I'll get it out in the end. Apologies tonight. I am on a bit of medication due to some back problems, so if I'm not myself tonight, I'm sure Andy will be able to fill in where I make a few mistakes. I was just going to quickly run through the tables, Andy, if that's alright, as we've got Welshie, who leads the championship standings at the minute on 170 points, 18 clear of his teammate and closest rival Stealth Sloth. Deeks sits third, 27 off the back of Welshie. DJ Phil Green in 4th place, and we see him over at Motive very consistent. We've seen him here consistent as well, 5 podiums this season so far. Just a few races where he's not been able to score maximum points, or not been able to score what he needs to. Big Boy Brazier sits P5, 68 points off the leader, and I go back to saying earlier, if he hadn't had them connection problems, he'll be absolutely up the top and pulling away with this one. His teammate Cam sits 91 points behind, and we are expecting Cam in the session. He is just running slightly late tonight. Excuse me. Liam Gamer, after a cracking Daytona race for him, sits in P7 at the moment, as we see him on the grass at the minute. 96 off the back of Welshie, but only 5 behind Cam. So a good night here will see Liam Gamer possibly climb up 1 or 2 more places. Alfie sits in P8 in the other Porsche, the AA 3D printing portion, with his teammate Swimfins, who's got pedal trouble on the Fanatec. He is trying to get it sorted, and we are trying to get it so that he can come in to the session. behind Swimfins in the table is Ben Phelan, who is a no-show. Rabbit Joe on holiday this week, so we believe he's taking this one as his drop score. Aidan Bennett, nice to see him back in the sessions on 19 points. Really needs a good night of points then. Big Chungus, who made his debut last week, is then just behind him on 17 points, and McCurtis and Daniel Francis on 8 and none respectively haven't been here. Daniel not been here all season, and McCurtis has only made one race. In the constructors and MC Motorsport, 130 points ahead of Team DPR. Gussington Trust sit third with DJ Motorsport in fourth, AA3D Print in fifth, TBT Motorsport in sixth, Monk Motorsport seventh, and Team In Freaks in 8th place. That is your tables for this one then.
Great stuff. So it's good to see that DJ Phil up there near the top of the leaderboard here in this Pro Am series, and be very excited to see how he gets on tonight. But Big Boy Brazier's really setting a blistering pace at the moment, mate. He's currently got 4.7 seconds ahead of his nearest rival, which is currently Deeks at the moment. But we've heard and seen big things from this man, Big Boy Brazier, and once again he's delivering the goods like he has done the last couple of weeks. Hopefully his network holds out for this one, because he has been plagued with probably the worst sort of luck somebody could ever get, let alone when they're leading a race. Each and every single one of the 3 races out of the last 4 he's disconnected in. He has been leading the race. 2 of those he was comfortably home and hosed at the time, so we know that he's got the potential to win these races, but he's going to have to hope that his network does hold out until the end.
Yeah, indeed he is. He's got a 6-second gap ahead of Deeks on the circuit, as Cam is in the session. We was expecting Cam. I think the only one we are expecting is, provided he can get his pedals working, is Swimfins tonight. Is Stealth Sloth's in the session? Where's Welshie? Currently down in 6th place. Yeah, he's in P8. Yeah, so Welshie down in P8, struggling at the moment. But that lap from Big Boy Brazier, we've said it all season, Andy, he should be in the pro category. More than likely will be in the pro category for next season.
I was saying that last week, is that the thing is, this man here, his network is so bad, he might as well go as a reserve in the pro category. Then he's not got his hopes pinned on anything, you know, he hasn't got his expectations set. He can just go in there with nothing to lose. If he disconnects, so be it. If he wins the race, then good on him. Do you know what I mean? He's got the pace to do that. Yeah, it'd be way more appropriate for him to be in that league. But he's been bossing it here in the Pro Am series, and when he's actually been in the lobby, he has been bullying these guys in a way. He's just been driving off into the distance, completely making a mockery of the rest of the field. But as I say, it's very much down to whether or not his internet is feeling up to it tonight. And if it isn't, then it doesn't really matter how fast he is. He's not going to go anywhere. But we
and this is it. This is it. I'm just looking at the stats here. He's set 2 fastest laps in races. He's got 6 pole positions out of 10 available at the moment, this being the 11th, and he's taken 4 race wins. Now let's not forget, 6 pole positions out of the 10 available. 4 wins means that he cannot qualify for race 2, so it's not possible to get 10 out of 10 poles with the wins that he's got to his name. How many? Welshie, has got 3 wins and Stealth 1. Deeks has got 2. Would they have had them race wins had Jamie Brazier not had internet problems? Alright, Silverstone race 2 flipped, it was on his roof and retired lap 1, not his fault. But you know, we've had internet problems. He's had to come off the PS4 early one night at Nürburgring. He's got to get these problems sorted out, ready to go. Deeks possibly
like everything's going wrong for him. It's not meant to be for Big Boy Brazier almost.
Yeah, Deeks, one of the most consistent lads, him and Chris, one of the most consistent lads in the Pro-Am category at the minute. Deeks has taken 2 wins with 4 podiums, a fastest lap and 2 pole positions himself. Chris, aka Welshie, is on 3 wins, 4 podiums, 2 fastest laps and a pole position for him. Fantastic stuff from these two, keeping it consistent. Stealth Sloth, although he's only had a win and 3 podiums to his name, he's sitting second in the table because he's scored good points everywhere else, up and down the board. And his drop score obviously isn't as bad as he's not dropping more points than Welshie or Deeks, so you know it's a good time for him. Not the podiums that he'd have wanted or the fastest laps for the extra point, but Stealth Sloth doing a fantastic job. You said we've got some comments in. We've got that Bozzy Boy, which is Liam, he's in the chat. Michael Matthews, aka Peaceful Explosion. Monkey Boy's in as well, so is Sooty Apex and Dean Wasaki. So a very good evening to all of them guys.
Lots of the pro guys in the chat, so those guys will be out on the track tomorrow night for the pro category. They'll be looking to see what sort of conditions we get for tonight, so they can possibly get a look in what they can expect tomorrow. They might be able to steal the march on the other guys who aren't snooping in on what the Pro AM category are doing tonight. But yeah, it should be interesting tonight to see how this one goes, and I'm sure that a lot of those guys are keeping an eye to see when the rain comes in this first, and indeed throughout the rest of the evening.
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting one as we see Stealth Sloth come out the final corner here. He's currently 41 seconds off the pace of Jamie Brazier and crosses the line now and improves to P2. The only man in the 205s or lower than a 206 other than Big Boy Brazier then, so he's quite a fair way quicker than his teammate, near enough a whole second quicker than his teammate. And I spoke with Chris yesterday about team orders. When do team orders come into play? As DJ Phil's just bumped himself up into P4 then. I spoke with Chris yesterday about when do team orders come into play, and he says no, we're fighting till the end. Although we're teammates and I've got an 18-point gap, we are fighting till the very end of the season at the moment. I think the camera's glitched out coming around turn 2 and 3. Whoa.
Yeah, every time we go through turns 2 and 3 it flicks to Aidan Bennett, and that's why. We can see why. Because he's in the barriers and he's just sat there, so I don't know what's going on there with Aidan Bennett.
No, that's not turn 2 or 3.
Oh no, that's
further
5.
Yeah, that's down the hill. I know Project Cars sometimes if someone spins off on a corner it glitches out on them. I've had it several times before in other commentaries I've done where it's glitched out. Someone will disconnect or spin somewhere and it will just glitch out, and then you have to wait a little bit for the cars to go a bit further around. Aidan Bennett currently sitting P8 at the moment. Cam and Alfie not got a lap time in.
Cam goes to the line. P7 for him.
Oh, P7, so good lap. Good lap for Cam. Sits just in front of his closest rival in the championship, Liam Gamer. Liam, though, just goes up into P6. A good lap from the Porsche. One of only 2 Porsche on the grid. Rabbit Joe away, and Swimfins has pedal problems tonight. But Alfie not setting lap time, and Liam really representing the Porsche car, or Porsche manufacturer tonight, as he's all sorts of sideways there.
Where did you get that phrase from? I don't know where you got that one from. I've never heard anyone say that before. Big Boy Brazier's still setting the pace at the moment.
Have you not said that before?
No.
Oh, I've said that. I know I say it a few times.
Say that all the time.
Oh, I've said that. I'm sure I've said that a few times. I must not have. All sorts of sideways.
All sorts of sideways.
Yeah, brilliant.
Stealth Sloth coming up on the line here. And he's P2 at the moment. Can he get a little bit closer to Big Boy Brazier? It looks like he can't that time around. He had a bit of slipstream from the car in front. Who's that, Matt, in the foreground? You know.
In front was Deeks, the Team DPR car of Deeks in the blue Gardex Lamborghini livery. Lovely livery on that blue Gardex car. I do quite like that good shade of blue with the orange and black. Nice. Yeah, it is very nice.
Reminds me a little bit of the Renault from the Mild 7 Renault in a way. I don't know what it is. Yeah,
I prefer it over the yellow. I'm not a bit comparing these two liveries here while we wait for the cameraman to just pick these two up in a moment. I just prefer the blue over the yellow. That's Big Chungus off. Oh. There. As we're going to wait for the camera to... See, the camera's just glitching out. It thinks Aidan Bennett's on that corner when he's not. Aidan's in the pits. So I'm not quite sure what it is. Sooty in the chat says it's always raining. It is always raining here at SimPlay. Although you will be delighted to know that after the mid-season break next week at Fuji, it isn't raining. So that'll be one for you to keep an eye on. At Fuji, the second night race.
Rain, it has to be Japan.
Yeah, I know.
That makes no sense.
I know. Normally monsoon weather when we go there in the Formula 1, but no, not here at SimPlay. We do things different. We make it rain where it doesn't rain.
You've got torrential rain in England and you got bone dry when we get to Japan.
It's a good job we didn't pick Dubai, because it would be absolute downpours in Dubai and blistering 30 degrees heat at Silverstone. It just wouldn't go right, would it? That's how we roll here at SimPlay Motorsport, that is. Liam Gamer currently sat in the pits with... Oh yeah, you've got to keep it different. Liam Gamer sat in the pits with 6 minutes left on the clock. Hopefully he can get back out. He comes out now then. Just needs 1.2 to gain on the back of Deeks. Alfie, the only man to not set a time. As we see the cameraman glitched out again. Oh, he's had a bit of bother in that Porsche, anti there. That's
yeah. Looks like a hefty whack with the wall at some point, or possibly one of the bollards. And he said that it looks like it's definitely been an object of more solidity than a bollard on the front of that car. I don't know what exactly has happened there with Alfie. But as you say, Matt, he's still yet to set a time, and the clock is ticking down here in this qualifying session. Oh my goodness, what is he doing?
What has happened there?
What on earth is Alfie doing there? I'm not quite sure what's going on here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to flick to somebody else because I think that Alfie might be showing off a little bit for the cameras there.
Stealth Sloth currently sitting in the pit lane. P2, 4.4. He's not improved. Oh, it's DJ Phil. As you just jump on board, he moves into P2. Then heck of a lap for DJ Phil. I don't think we've seen him on the front row of the grid. Of the front row of the grid in race 1 before. And DJ Phil, heck of a lap time there. So a fantastic job from him. Good evening to Adam Kaup, and Rabbit Joe's away tonight. Says good luck, Liam. Adam Kaup's also in the chat. The Pro Group BMW driver for Iron Brew Racing. Just a massive shout out to Adam Kaup and Keegs. Last Friday night managed to do the Le Mans 24-hour. Unfortunately for Adam, at 4 AM in the morning after a good from like 8:30 till 4 in the morning, a good stint for Mazda. He managed to disconnect from the lobby as the AI couldn't hold the internet connection. I wonder if he was racing at Jamie Brazier's house, although he did do a fair few hours, so possibly not. But Keegs managed to finish second in that one, so well done to Keegs.
Yeah, absolutely. Mad respect to those guys for cracking on with that. I don't know how they're able to even think about doing that, let alone actually do it. So massive well done to Keegs on that one. As we're seeing Phil, though, currently sat in P2 in this session, and Phil's been a man of consistency so far this season, I would say. He's always been up there, thereabouts. Has scored multiple podiums throughout this season and could be an outside bet in this championship if Big Boy Brazier's connection continues to let him down, and Stealth Sloth and Deeks have a couple of bad rounds. Then Phil is going to be right there to capitalise. And
you know what? I fancy Phil tonight. Provided Jamie Brazier does disconnect, and touch wood he doesn't, because we'd hate to see that. But if Jamie Brazier, if Jamie Brazier disconnects, I know we normally look to Welshie, Deeks or Stealth Sloth, but do you know something? I fancy DJ Phil for the top step of the podium in this one. He's good in the wet conditions and he's consistent. And I think that DJ Phil here could just have the answer to Welshie and Stealth Sloth and Deeks. Deeks has actually just gone into P2. Half a second quicker than DJ Phil. Can DJ Phil do anything about it this time around? He crosses the line, no improvement. So Deeks, we've seen a few changes here for second place, Andy.
Yeah, at the moment it's chopping and changing. We've seen Stealth Sloth there for a few moments. Welshie's currently on a lap. He's not too far off at that time either, but Deeks is definitely serving up his claim for best to the rest at the moment. Big Boy Brazier is just too quick for this league, in my opinion. I really think he should be in the pro category. It's not, in my opinion, it's not fair on the other guys out there, because they could be having a hell of a race for that second spot. Now, ultimately, at the end of the day, Big Boy Brazier is very likely to disconnect from this lobby, so you know, it probably will be for the lead eventually, Deeks, DJ Phil, but I'm sure we're going to see a great battle between those guys anyway. At the moment, Welshie's just coming through the middle sector. He's currently got 1.2 seconds to find them, Deeks. Yeah, he was taking a... But then again, you can sometimes take that line through that corner. It's a very long, winding right-hander. Very difficult on the left rear tyres. And sometimes... Oh, no, that's definitely not the way he wants to be taking the S's. Yeah,
that's a line.
100% not the way he wants to be taking that corner.
Now, I want to ask you a question, actually, going back to the right-hander where he was wide. Are you more wide on entry, or do you feel that a wider exit's sometimes better? Because I tend to find personally that I can take a wider exit, so to make sure I get the first apex, but then towards the mid corner sort of slowly start to drift out wide for the uphill section. I don't know if that's...
You start wide and take a late apex.
Oh, you see, I do it different. See, I take an early apex and finish wider. I just feel I can get the power down through the corner a bit better. But everybody's different. They've all got their own lines, and maybe that's what Chris was doing there, is he's all over the grass and just touches it a little bit and somehow manages to keep that Lamborghini from being all sorts of sideways. Oh,
he's improved a lap time there,
again. 2.6
ahead of the rest of these guys.
Yeah, 2.6 just ahead of, just behind Jamie Brazier. Hello. Could we see Deeks then start to maybe threaten Big Boy Brazier, especially with rain on track? That could be an interesting one to watch. Alfie's managed to get a lap time in and currently sits P9 on the track then. Good evening to Gary, he's in the chat as well, so good evening to you, young sir. Liam still ahead of Cam for P6 and 7. That's a big battle for sort of mid-pack in the championship at the moment. Big Boy Brazier returns to the garage with 40 seconds left on the clock then, and will not get back out for another lap. Deeks just behind Liam Gamer. So let's see what he can do. DJ Phil though, been impressed with DJ Phil this season. He's really he's really, I don't know what he's not done anything that's been spectacular, but I've been impressed with him. He's been so consistent. There was one race in particular that stands out for me, race 2 at Austria. Pitted on the second to last lap and went from P4 before everybody else had pitted and got second in that race because of a late pit stop. And I just think it's decisions like that DJ Phil's done this season that has made him get the results he's got, and it's brilliant opportunistic driving.
Yeah, I think you're right. He's got that knack for strategy. He's got a wise head on his shoulders, and he definitely knows how to get the best out of the car as well. He's trying to learn everything he can about setups and get up to grips with this game, and he's been improving no end. DJ Phil also does race on the pad as well, so it's not the easiest to drive this game on the controller when you've got a load of guys on the wheels to compete with. So it can't be expressed how well DJ Phil has been doing over the course of this season. He really has done a hell of a job. Last week at Daytona, we saw him taking P3 in race 1, and race 2 didn't go slightly well for him, if I remember correctly.
Come in with a 5th.
Yeah, so still some good points, but race 1 really was the standout for me, and he could have done a lot better had he not come into the pits a lap too late as well. That was his undoing in that race. It cost him second place for sure, as he's coming out in the last corner now. Let's see what DJ Phil can do. Can he move himself up the order and put himself maybe on the front row ahead of Deeks? It's going to be his last opportunity, up and over the line now. DJ Phil currently P3 in this session, and he can't improve his lap time there. He stays on the same time that he was on before. Deeks has finished his session. Stealth Stuff looks like he's done as well. Well, she's done. Liam Gamer looks like has he got his foot in? No, he's not.
Oh, I apologise. Gary's comment then has made me... oh dear, that is brilliant. Only G can't make tomorrow night. He feels he needs some Clio practice to try and keep with the SimPlay lads in his own league. Gary, I wouldn't brag about anything. You had a poor run at Snetterton yesterday to say that's your track. I wouldn't try and claim anything there. Oh dear, that one's made me laugh there.
No, Gary had a good run in the feature race, but even so though, Matt, I think G and Morgan were still...
G's got Gary's number. G's got Gary's number, I'm telling you now. G's got Gary's number. Alfie said that his TV turned off when we had the cameras on him, so that's why he ended up losing control. He's obviously gone to reach for the controller. Mazda has that problem. I've raced with Mazda no end, and he's gone, oh no, my telly's about to turn off. Where's my remote? Who has this setting on when you sim race? I'm not sure, but either way, Big Boy Brazier will take his 7th pole of the season. Deke's got a very good second place in all that. DJ Phil Green 3rd. Stovsoff and Welsh again inseparable in the qualifying sessions, 4th and 5th, with Liam Gamer in 6th place, followed by Cam in 7th. Big Chungus 8th on his second outing, not a bad qualifying for him. Alfie in P9 and Aidan Bennett 10th, and struggling at the moment, but we'll see if he can improve then. Swimfin says Michael Matthews, he's having pedal problems. The pedals aren't registering on the Project 2 Cars 2 game. He's updated his pedals and they're not quite working for him. He said they're working on GT Sport, they're working on the Assetto Corsa, but Project Cars, they're not sort of registering. He's got the Fanatec, and I know you can change bits and bobs, can't you? You can buy updated pedals and things, so something isn't working for them.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't sound right, but the Fanatec's a very highly complicated piece of machinery, so you might need to have a look on YouTube and get that one figured out. But look at this rain map. This is going to be a treacherous start to this race 1, round 11 of the Pro Am series here in the GT3s of SimPlay Motorsport. Guys, if you like what you see, make sure to drop a like on this video, subscribe to the SimPlay Motorsport. Oh my goodness me.
I did that the other week, don't worry. No, you're fine, I was doing it all the other week.
Make sure you subscribe to SimPlay Motorsport here tonight if you want to see more action like this, and make sure you join us tomorrow night for the Pro Series starting up at 8 PM. That's Thursday night, tomorrow night, 24 hours time. But saying that, guys, we've got a hell of a race lined up right here, right now. We've got Big Boy Brazier lining up at the front of the field. Deeks lining up alongside him. Can Deeks take the fight to Big Boy Brazier in these wet conditions? We'll have to wait and see how this one goes. This could be a bit of a level playing field in terms of Big Boy Brazier. Or is his connection going to hold out anyway? We're moments away from the lights out here. We've got Big Boy Brazier on the right, Deeks on the left hand side, DJ Phil and Stealth Spot behind these guys. We're almost about to go racing here at Brno. And lights are out and we're underway, and it looks like we have an amazing start there from Welshie, but it looks like he lost it, and the wheel spin has put him into the wall there. Welshie immediately getting lost there, down to 8th place already, but it looks like Big Boy Brazier cuts across into the lead of the race. DJ Phil going under pressure now from Cam. Cam is up the inside into P2 there. Great start from Cam. Deeks holding on to P4 there. Stealth in P5. We've got Liam Gamer, Welshie. It looks like we lost somebody on the race already.
Yeah,
Someone who's retired. We've got third one. Big Chungus is out of the race. Disaster there for Big Chungus. But Cam P2 looks like DJ Phil trying to fend off Deeks at the moment. So Cam retook that position and has got Deeks very much hot on DJ Phil's heels at the moment. It looks like we got Stealth there with Liam Gamer, Welshie, and it looks like Alfie looking to the inside of Welshie, but can't quite make the move at the moment. Aiden Bennett at the back of the field though.
Aiden Bennett looking like he's going to try and stay back and try and pick off a few places as people struggle in the fog. But what a disastrous start for Welshie then. He would not have wanted this. But look at this, DJ Phil looking like he's going to pull out on Cam there. And Deeks having a look on DJ Phil as they all run a slightly bit wide there. I think Cam's gone the widest. And Deeks was looking up the inside. That's Liam Gamer off in the gravel. Oh, and that's Deeks and DJ Phil. Deeks has tapped the rear of DJ Phil and they're both round. And that is going to give Stealth Sloth and Welshie a few places. Liam Gamer, Aiden Bennett and Alfie as well. But I tell you what, for the team Gussit and Trussit boys, 1 and 2 at the minute. And after that little spin between DJ Phil and Deeks, that bit of contact, that's given them a heck of a gap. Stealth Sloth up, and that's Alfie and Deeks tapped around again. Second time in as many corners. Is that DJ Phil with him? Yes, DJ Phil is as well round. So DJ Phil, Deeks in as many corners, round twice. Oh, disaster for them two. Alfie got caught up in that as well.
Seem to be magnetic to each other at the moment. Whatever it is, they always seem in the same place. I don't know what it is with those two. They can't get enough of each other at the moment. They are all over each other like a rash, and they are both down to 7th and 9th in this race respectively. Alfie currently splitting these two, but they're really struggling in these conditions early on in this race. They're treacherous conditions, so slippery out there. I'd hate to be on the track. But in the meantime, while all of that has been going on, Big Boy Brazier's got a 4-second lead over Cam, and Cam has somehow managed to avoid all of that chaos on the first lap and is in second place, not too far behind. There's a huge gap back to this battle here. We've got Stealth Sloth trying to defend from Aiden Bennett. Aiden Bennett's probably can move up the inside, coming into the second to last corner, but he looks like he can't make a move at the moment. But Stealth Sloth going very wide there on the exit, which might allow Aiden Bennett to get a look in as he comes into the last corner. He's going to try and get a nice exit for the cutback.
Here, oh, great move! Great move there.
Aiden.
Stealth Sloth, has he got damage? He's coming into the pit lane. Has he jumped the start? Maybe, I'm not sure. But what a move from Aiden Bennett regardless. That was a fantastic start from him. Welshie's dropped back down to P8, or what is now 7th, after they've all passed Stealth Sloth. So another problem for Welshie. And this is DJ Phil, who looks like he's going to go up the inside of 2. And has he got it done? No, he's got it done on Welshie. But Alfie managed to keep in front of DJ Phil, and DJ Phil then will keep the MC Motorsport, the championship leader, down in P8 as it stands at the moment. Not the race that Welshie would have wanted, not the start race anyway. Cam started from P7 on the grid and he's running second place, so what an opening lap he's had. Aiden Bennett and Liam Gamer run 3rd and 4th with Deeks in 5th, Alfie up into 6th. We lost Big Chungus on the opening lap. Stealth Sloth, he's
running on board with Deeks at the moment. He's all over the back of Liam Gamer. Liam Gamer, you can see they're struggling for traction on the exit of that corner. And Base Deeks going to fancy his chances onto the brakes. It looks like he's a bit too far back to go for the move at the moment. Oh, he's going to go for it!
He's going to send one!
He commits it, almost commits it down the inside, just about manages to put the brakes on. It was very, very close there to the back of Liam Gamer, but can't quite get around him at the moment. It's Liam Gamer going a little bit wide there. But Deeks unable to capitalise at the moment. Both these guys
Liam very wide.
Oh, yeah, Liam all over the place there. Deeks is surely going to capitalise on that. Yes, he does. He's up into 4th place.
Do you know what I love about the Lamborghini? Look at the little monitor on the inside. We've just seen a cracking manoeuvre on board the Lamborghini of Alfie going up the inside of Liam Gamer on the onboard monitor. And Deeks is going up the inside of Aiden Bennett on the exit to the corner here. Aiden was a bit wide, but looks like he's managed to hold stations at the minute. Can Deeks send one up the inside? I'm sure Sutty will be praying for a bit of a send-it manoeuvre, but I don't think he's going to. Onboard Alfie seeing the battle in front. And look at this, Deeks. Oh, a bit of a twitch as he breaks in, and Alfie's going to tuck underneath. Lovely manoeuvre that from Alfie. Cracking move, that one. And it's not job done yet as we head up towards the left-right chicane. Deeks still on the inside line, and plenty of room given by Alfie. Deeks will surely give him the room on the opposite corner. Yes, he will, and Alfie now gets the job done. So a great manoeuvre there, but he looks like he struggled. Yeah, he struggled, Alfie did, to get the traction.
Coming up the hill, he's going to have the outside for the penultimate corner. Can he go around the outside here of Aiden? It looks like he's Deeks even. No, Alfie looks like he's... So Deeks there up into P4, so he manages to execute that undercut fantastically on the way out of the corner and keeping on to that position. I thought Alfie had got that done.
Where's Aiden gone? I've lost my list. I think you've pressed something. I've lost my list. But Aiden's dropped down the order. I saw him drop off the top 5. There we go, the list back. Aiden's dropped to P8. What happened to him? He was running 3rd a moment ago. Alfie's now on the podium at the minute and could be in for his first podium of the season. Welshie still down in P8, struggling at the minute is Welshie. Deeks and Alfie though, here we go. Cracking little battle at the moment. This could be very interesting with Welshie and Stealth Sloth 8th and 9th. Deeks knows that he's got a lot of points he can gain here on the top 2 in the championship. But Alfie not making life easy for him as of yet. Cracking start to this race. We're only 3 laps into 15. You've got to get a lap 12 for 3/4 distance, and Alfie struggled to get out the corner there. And I tell you what, Deeks, he didn't know whether to go left or right there, and effectively that has cost him the overtake. But Deeks looking quick in this one, Andy here. Oh, and Alfie's all sideways onto the gravel. Round he goes. Lost it all on his own. Was running so well, and has lost it. He's managed to keep it parked and stationary. That's what we want to see. We don't want to see people rolling back onto the track and rejoin safely. But how much rotten luck. Oh, that's Liam off.
Oh no, Liam's lost it as well. But Alfie there down into 8th place. He's almost got Stealth stuff on the back of him as well. As we see Liam being passed there by Aiden. Or is Aiden going to... No, Aiden can't quite pull off the move at the moment. But certainly cost him a lot. Oh,
he has now. He has now.
Spun it. He's now going to go to the back of the field. Surely with that one, he's dropped way off of these guys. He's now over 40 seconds behind the race leader. Liam Gamer's race has just been turned on its head there in a matter of seconds, but so is Alfie's. He's running in 7th, just behind Welshie at this point. So Welshie's championship hopes obviously came into this round as the championship leader, but I don't know if he'll still be after this. Deeks running in 3rd at the moment, pretty high up. DJ Phil running in 4th, so it's not going to be easy for Welshie tonight. Hopefully he can minimise the points loss here over this round. Welshie was actually in that lobby last week, I believe, when we were doing that little practice round here. So he knows what it takes around this track, but can't seem to get it hooked up, unfortunately, so far.
Was on last night as well, and he looked all slidey, and he said things didn't feel right on his pad. He said he had come home from work really late last night, and he said things didn't feel right. Deeks, though, has managed to stretch his legs ahead of DJ Phil after Alfie's little spin, and he's going to head off after Cam now, but he's 2/10 slower last time round compared to Cam. So Cam lapping really well here. I tell you what, Welshie does look like he's struggling. No disrespect to Alfie. Alfie's not really ran up there much this year. 7ths and 8ths across the board for Alfie, but he's keeping with Welshie here, 4P6, and he's making life difficult for the championship leader then. And I tell you what, brilliant drive. A couple of mistakes, dipped a wheel on the grass and stuff, or lost it mid-corner, but he's keeping Welshie really honest here. Cam, though, this is going to do his championship wonders, really going to climb the table with a P2 at the moment. This will equal his best result of the season, which he got last week at Daytona in race 1. So another podium for him. 3 podiums in the last 3 rounds as well, so a podium each round in the last 3 rounds. So good stuff here from Cam. Recently really started to up his game, and Liam came into this one just 5 points behind Cam. He's going to leave here. Well, he's going to leave race 1 a few more points behind, as the camera has decided to... This cameraman's took a bit of a liking to Aidan Bennett.
I don't know if this cameraman's drunk tonight, because he seems to be all over the place, but yeah.
I think he's had some of my medication here.
The subject of his affections.
Indeed, yes.
DJ Phil.
Oh!
No, somebody's round!
That's Aiden and Alfie!
Aiden
and Alfie!
They're going together! And that's a disaster there for those guys. It looks like Aiden gets it going quicker than Alfie, but these guys down to 6th and 7th. They're way off the back of DJ Phil and Welshie now.
I don't know if someone hit the tyres there, Andy, and that's what caused... I didn't see who was in front, but I think someone's hit the tyres and then the other one's caught up as the car's been lost. Flash of the lights from Alfie. So maybe it feels that Aidan Bennett needs to let him have the place back. I'm not sure. But an interesting one so far. Oh, that's Welshie who's had a spin. Welshie's back down the order to P7. What is happening to the championship leader here? He's not on the form that we normally see him on. We've seen him struggle race 1 at Daytona last week. And is this his championship sort of being... Surely he can't be throwing his championship away as we enter the back half of the season. He's been too good all year to start to throw this one away. And I tell you what, he's got a bit of a gap to Liam and Stealth Sloth behind, but he's all over the back of Alfie and really needs to get his head down.
Alfie really defending well though, Matt. You see coming into the ultimate corner, just covered off the line really nicely, timed his move to the inside to perfection just before the braking zone. That allowed Welshie nowhere to go, and you can see that puddle on the final corner there really causing these guys a big headache as they come through that corner. So like a moat across the track, and they have to be so careful coming through that corner. There'll be a lot of opposite lock if there's oversteer coming through there. At the moment, Alfie holding on here very nicely ahead of Welshie. Doing a fantastic job tonight is Alfie. Really giving the championship leader a good run for his money. Got Deeks still running in P3. Looks like he's pulled out the gap to DJ Phil at the moment. He's also pulling away from Aiden and Alfie. And we see Alfie making a move to the inside here. Well, no, he's still holding on ahead of Welshie. Sorry, excuse me. But these guys do look like they're closing in a little bit now on Aiden Bennett. Not by much. And Aiden, sort of getting a bit sideways.
Yeah.
He's got onto the power.
All sorts of sideways.
Absolutely. I think Alfie and Welshie are both closing in a little bit on Aiden at the moment, though.
They do look slightly. Deeks is one man who's really on a charge. 2 seconds a lap quicker. He's deep. He's deep. What is going off? Stolzloff's managed to get past Liam, and them two will be charging down, gaining on Welshie here. His night has not gone well at all. Aiden's had a bit of a spin as Alfie's managed to pass him as well. These wet, foggy conditions really catching the drivers out tonight. And I tell you what, it's not the race that the championship leader would have wanted here. I can't believe this. Deeks within 5 seconds now of Cam for P2, but hasn't taken anyone with him. Stolzloff gaining on the back of his teammate there. You just saw, can he get the job done? The MC Motorsport lads not having the night we've come to see them have. I think the lowest result for Chris is a P6, and the lowest result for Stolzloff is a P6 as well. So could be their worst results in race 1 tonight. The worst finish of the season it would be for both of them as it stands at the moment. Plenty of time left though, still 11 laps to go, or 10 laps to go as Big Boy Brazier is on to lap 6. So we'll see what happens in the back off this race as the rain slowly looks like it's easing a little bit there, but Stolzloff gaining on his teammate. And I tell you what, Welshie just makes mistake after mistake at the moment.
Yeah, he does seem to be having a bit of an inconsistent race, which is unlike him because he's usually pretty solid, but last week at Daytona we did actually see him having a bit of a nightmare as well. So this one and the previous round Daytona has been a little bit of a tricky one for Stolzloff. He really hasn't been on his usual consistent form over the last 2 weeks. He's just behind Welshie at the moment. Welshie having a total nightmare here in this race though. Obviously he's dropped off the back of Alfie. We saw those two having a little battle earlier on, but Welshie making that little mistake left Alfie into some clean air. Alfie though is doing a fantastic job in P5, and it looks like he's closing the gap to DJ Phil as well. So Phil's got to watch out in his mirrors. Alfie's currently making gains here in fifth place.
Alfie's doing absolutely fantastic stuff. The Porsche looks suited. I know Liam's struggling in the Porsche, but his Porsche of Alfie looks quite handy in the wet, to be fair, compared to the Lamborghini anyway.
Yeah, it really does. And
is that DJ Phil? DJ Phil's round!
Oh no, Phil's round!
He's round in front!
No.
Just as we speak of DJ Phil and Alfie gaining on him, he will now. And is he going to get a move? Yep, gets the move done. Round the outside and up the inside into the next corner.
Phil's not giving this one up though. He's going to fight this with everything he's got, but I think Alfie's got the superior speed at the moment, and he's into that position. I would have thought the Lamborghini would be a bit more confident in these conditions. Obviously being four-wheel drive, it's going to have that stability in these conditions, especially around these very tight sort of hairpin corners, slower corners.
Very slow corners, aren't they? You've got to be patient.
Really are.
It is a track, and I sort of explained this to Liam and Dean last night. I said you've kind of got to be slow to be fast, and Liam was like, "Oh, that don't really make sense." And I went, "Exactly. You've just got to be patient, smooth, like patient, slow around the corners." Yeah.
Alan Prost.
You cannot fight this track.
When he looks like he's going fast, he always said if he looks like he's going fast, then he's going too slowly, and if he looks like he's going slowly, then he's actually going faster.
Yeah.
He's getting more out of the car, he's being smooth, he's not making too many inputs. The car is going straight.
I think Aiden's had a bit of a spin. No, you're exactly right with what Prost used to do. Very smooth on the wheel. And when he was having them smooth races, he was consistently just heads and shoulders above the rest. Aiden, though, looks like he's made a mistake because he's dropped behind Stolzloff and Welshie. Stolzloff has passed Welshie as well, 4P6, so an extra position gained for him there. Sutty says the Lambo is rear wheel in GT3, so not four wheel. Oh, as Aiden's on the gravel, struggling. Well, apparently so. Sutty's just said so. I'm not 100% sure, but apparently it is. I think the rain, Andy, has stopped. Well, yeah, the rain looks like it's stopped here, so could we see the track start to dry? Plenty of time left yet for the track to start to dry and put slicks on.
Absolutely, but it doesn't look like we're there yet at this point. It's obviously, so we've still got fog at the moment. The clouds appear to be there in their ranks, so it will be a little while before we're due slick tyres at the end of this race. I think it's more than likely going to be wets to the end. I can't imagine that it's going to dry off sufficiently in order to see these guys making a change. It just wouldn't be worth it. I'd say that the sticks might be quicker at the end, but there's just not enough time in the race.
Now,
in my opinion,
Alfie, it is a mandatory pit stop. I can see you typing away, but I will let you know it is mandatory pit stop. Sorry to interrupt you there, Andy.
That's alright. So we've got Alfie's currently being reeled in by DJ Phil. We saw Alfie making that move on Phil a lap or so ago, but Phil is not taking this one lying down. He's sticking to the back of Phil and not letting him run away into the distance. Sorry.
Oh, he has there. He's just made a mistake. I've noticed that Deeks currently runs in second place now, not Cam in P2 at the moment. Deeks has done that and cleared him. And I tell you what, Alfie and DJ Phil are gaining on Cam. Yeah. Not at a real rate of knots, but they are slowly gaining on Cam then. So maybe a mistake or two for Cam over the last couple of laps, but still on the podium at the minute, showing good pace here for the teammate of Big Boy Brazier. And a team that many thought might challenge MC Motorsport, but with the disconnections of Jamie Brazier, haven't been able to. And Cam here looking good value for his money.
Yeah, absolutely. He needs to keep it consistent at this point. He needs to make sure he doesn't hit too many puddles and get out of shape, because he's driving in a fantastic position at the moment, currently on the podium. He needs to be aware though, because Alfie and DJ Phil are hunting him down. And these guys are so consistent, Alfie and DJ Phil, so yeah. Cam needs to be on his guard.
Oh, Liam's past Aiden. So I don't know if Aiden's had another mistake, but Liam's off.
Oh, Liam's off.
And Aiden's off.
There. It looks like Aiden is as well, yeah. So both of those guys running into the wall.
Struggling.
Might have been a collision between the two of them. I'm not sure if they actually collided or if it was just two separate incidents, but whatever it was, those guys dropping lots of time.
Yeah, potentially. They are struggling though. These two look like they've struggled all night so far. And I tell you what, it's a track here where one mistake's going to cost you a lot of time in the wet. Sorry.
Yeah, it can, and it's fine margins at the moment. You can see that moat across the final corner still there, very much present in these guys, and their line that they take through the corner is definitely going to be compromised because of that. If we see Liam taking a very bizarre line through turn one, yeah, it's hugging the curb, which is not the way you want to be taking that corner. You want to be taking a wide entry.
Oh, Aiden's on the gravel. And Liam's round.
Is that a collision there between the two of them? Aiden and Liam. I don't think it was two separate incidents, but both of them going off at the same corner, and Liam coming off far worse in that one.
To me, it looked like Liam had got the wall. It has. To me, Liam looked like he got the power down too quick on the exit to the corner, and there's a puddle as well coming on the exit to turn one, just going across the track. So I think he's just lit the rears up and caught the puddle then. So not what Liam would have wanted there. Stealth Sloth on the back of DJ Phil now, as Alfie's just slowly gapped DJ Phil a little bit. So Stealth Sloth having a recovery drive here and looking good for his money in the second half of this race then, and slowly reeling in DJ Phil.
Yeah, absolutely. But DJ Phil is dropped off the back of Alfie a little bit last time around. Alfie was a second and a half faster than Phil, so Alfie is really doing bits tonight, and he's now within 10 seconds of our man in P3 Cam. So it could Alfie possibly be eyeing up a podium spot here in round 11 of the season here in the Pro Am Series. I don't think he's taken a podium yet this season, has he?
No podiums this season. They are actually the only team on the grid without a podium, I do believe. I'm just double checking my stats page. I've got the only team on the grid this year after Liam's podium last week. The only team on the grid without a podium. So if Alfie could get himself on that podium, it would be fantastic for him. And a good drive as well here, showing that the Porsche has clearly got some pace in the wet conditions and really driving a fantastic race. Here's DJ Phil and Stealth Sloth then. Stealth Sloth has left Welsh in the fog. To be fair, normally it's in the dust, but in the fog here at Brno, he's left him for days. 5-6 seconds, if not more, up the road from Welshie. Welshie's struggling tonight. Not sure. Hopefully we can see Welshie have a better race too. But he's just caught that puddle!
He hit the puddle! Oh no!
That's going to be big damage.
Oh god, he's not going to be. He's going to be limping around to the pits now. Is he going to have to come in for damage repairs? I imagine he would be.
Oh yeah, that doesn't look right. That doesn't look right. It's pulling to the right just slightly. You can see his wheel twitching to the left to keep it in a straight line.
Oh, that front bumper looks like it's wobbling, so Stealth Sloth is surely going to have to come in at the end of this lap. He was right on the back of Phil. Looked like he might be pressuring Phil right on his rear bumper, but he's made a mistake, and Stealth Sloth has been passed by Welshie now. So Welshie up into P6. Stealth Sloth though.
Stealth Sloth's pitted as well. He pitted at the end of the first lap. He's going to send one on his teammate here and send one up the inside. Well, Sutty will be pleased about that one, but it's ran very, very wide. And Welshie, oh no, careful lads, you're in the same team here. We don't want to see Sebastian Vettel, Mark Webber at Turkey. We want to see some clean racing between teammates. I'm sure this isn't going to go down well. If a collision happens, Stealth Sloth's already been in the pit, so the fact he's got to pit again isn't good news for him, but clearly looks like he's struggling in the corners with that Lamborghini.
Yeah, he really is, and I'm not sure why. Well, I'm not sure why these guys have decided to let Stealth Sloth lead them round. Welshie there, it looks like he's being waved by. Surely Stealth Sloth is going to let him go because Welshie has got the healthier car. Obviously, Stealth Sloth will have that damage after hitting the wall at the beginning of this lap. Question is, does he pit now for damage, or does he try and limp round these final 6.5 laps of this race here at Brno for the opening race of the evening here at SimPlay Motorsport? But certainly that's not what Stealth Sloth would have wanted there in that one, and now surely he'd be better advised to back his teammate Welshie. Obviously with Welshie leading the championship coming into this round, he's in a push for the title, so yeah, I would imagine that he would probably be sitting back on Welshie at the moment as we see Cam into the pits.
Yeah, Cam in the pit lane then at the end of lap 10, and out he comes, and I don't think he's changed tyres there. That looked a very routine pit stop, to be fair. Welshie then is going to gain over his teammate now that he's in front of him, but don't forget the teammates cannot pit on the same lap, so Stealth Sloth needs to get into the pits as he is doing now, so Welshie can pit as well. But here we go then, so we are down to 9 runners after we lost Big Chungus early on. Can though Stealth Sloth, can he get anything from this race? This damage could take a long time to repair, and he's got Aiden who's not pitted. Liam has. Can he get anything from this race, or is it going to be a P8, P9 finish? That's Aiden just going past him now, but Aiden hasn't been in the pits yet. Liam a fair way back. I think he's just been lapped, has Stealth Sloth. Also,
I just want to clarify that Stealth Sloth will not be doing Welshie any favours in terms of the championship, because those two teammates are essentially battling for the championship. They're both in hot contention, so yeah, they will be giving it everything and probably fighting each other. Hopefully there'll be no collisions between the two of them and they can keep it clean and tidy amongst each other. Welshie into some clean air. He's got Cam posting a little bit on him now. Welshie was faster on the previous lap, but
Cam pitted.
Fast Cam. Yeah, no,
Cam's pitted.
So can Cam close off onto the back of Welshie at the moment? Looks like he's keeping him just about within sight. And Cam's lost the car. Cam is round there on the exit of the corner. He looks like he's almost been into the barrier, just about keeping it out of there. And
we've lost him.
The race. That is a real shame for Cam.
He won't score.
He's retired with a lap to go until the cut-off point. So that a very strange decision there from Cam. He is out of this race one there, Matt, and that was quite an ill-advised decision there to retire, I reckon.
Strange decision. It's normally Big Boy Brazier we see retiring from the race before the three-quarter distance. He's only got one more lap to do before he can do that. He's stayed in the race and looks like his connection's on point today. I wonder if he's been to the shop for an Ethernet cable then. Either way, Cam will not score points, and that is a massive shame for him. Liam Gamer though, he'll be pleased with that, because with the 8th place he's going to now get, will get 8 points and will go above Cam in the championship standings after race 1. So we'll see what Cam can do in race 2. Cam will qualify, so Cam could be one to watch in race 2 indeed, but only people to pit so far was Cam, Liam and Stealth Sloth, who's pitted on lap 1. Welshie's now in the pits at the end of the 11th lap. So Welshie into the pit lane now. What tyre does he go on? Does he gamble the slicks here with 4 to go? Maybe go for a fastest lap of the race. We'll see. Others still have not pitted yet though. Interesting to see how late people are going to leave this one.
Yeah, I can't imagine that we're going to be seeing the slick tyres before the end of this race. The track looks too slippery out there. The fog is definitely going to keep the dampness out there, so I reckon we're going to see wets until the end of the race. You can see the spray off the back of Alfie's car there. Alfie, in the meantime, is currently running in a P3 position, so it will be the first podium for AA 3D printing if indeed he can carry on driving in the same way that he has been for the duration of this race. He's lapping faster than the man in P2, Deeks, at the moment as well, but he's too far ahead, I reckon, is Deeks. DJ Phil matching Alfie at the moment in P4, currently lapping in a 2-minute 14s. Only 3 seconds behind him on the track, Matt, so could DJ Phil he's taking a claim for a podium here?
Yeah, these two both still got to pit yet, but DJ Phil keeping Alfie honest. Although Alfie started to has gapped him over the last couple of laps, DJ Phil starting now to just close in on him a little bit into the pit stop phase. And like I said earlier, DJ Phil at Red Bull Ring did a great strategy to pit, and here he's going to play a blinder again with the looks of things, although Alfie's leaving it just as late as DJ Phil is. We'll see if any of these two pit this time around. The people we haven't seen in the pit then is Jamie Brazier, Alfie, Deeks, DJ Phil and Aiden. So I wonder when we will see a round of pit stops for them guys. Aiden up into P5 after a few incidents, but like I say, hasn't pitted and is only 9 seconds ahead of Welshie. So we'll see what happens. Do you know something, Andy? If I was Welshie, I'd have banged the slick tyre on, to be fair. You've not had the best of races. I'd have gambled the slick tyre, go for the fastest lap, try and get an extra point. As Alfie's pitted.
The spray looks too much, and I know that you're saying that it could be the fastest lap point, it will come in at the end of the race, but I don't think it's even going to be quicker over that stretch, because you can see the spray off the back of these cars. It just looks to me like it's far too treacherous to even consider making that switch. I don't know, in patches you can see there's a dry line appearing, but there's just too much standing water across the track in those sections. You're really a passenger on the slick tyres. You're just sort of sending it and hoping that it sticks. But I can't imagine that these slick tyres are going to be the way to go. Not at the end of this race, but I'm willing to be proven wrong, and it'll be interesting if anybody does make that gamble. It's fascinating to see if they can get the fastest lap.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So Alfie has done his pit stop there, and we are just waiting for Big Boy Brazier, Deeks, DJ Phil and Aiden. DJ Phil and Aiden have got to make sure they pit not on the same lap here, because obviously being teammates, they've got to pit separately. That's Liam Gamer, who looks like he's recovering after a problem. Big Boy Brazier down into the 209s now. So is the track dry? We've not seen a time sub 210 in this race until now. So the track clearly starting to get a bit drier. So I'm wondering if it is just drying a little bit, like you say. It's drying, it's getting drier, but it's not dry enough for slicks. Dry enough though for them to make the extra lap. Aiden has pitted now, so that's bonus for DJ Phil, meaning that he's clear to pit as from the next lap. Now then, Alfie is out the pit lane, currently about 30 odd seconds behind DJ Phil. Yep, 33 seconds behind DJ Phil. So when does DJ Phil pit, and will Alfie regain that third place and potential first podium of the season? Welshie up into P5, then Stealth Sloth running 6th place after their pit stops. I tell you what, Big Boy Brazier, 58 seconds up the road from Deeks. I know he's not pitted yet and Deeks is coming in now, but Deeks just does not have an answer. Nobody has an answer to Jamie Brazier today.
No one does, and the only answer that anybody might be able to come up with is possibly that his Wi-Fi might disconnect, but Big Boy Brazier can definitely score some points for this race, because he has completed the race distance and he's only 2 laps away from reaching the checkered flag. So I'd hate to tempt fate, but I think he is more or less home and hosed here.
Don't worry, I'm touching the wood. I've got wood. I'm touching my desk. I'm holding on to it while you're saying this. The last thing we'd want to do is jinx him, but he has done full race distance, so he at least will score points, even if his does disconnect through connection problems. So he will score points here. It will only be P8 points if it did happen, but I'm sure the finish line in sight now for Jamie Brazier. He'll want to see himself get on that podium, and he does pit then. So that is now everybody bar DJ Phil has pitted. DJ Phil is into second place. He's not going to hang on to that second place, as Deeks is only a couple of seconds behind him as the cameraman. We've got a few
to take a day off there.
Yeah, the Czech Republic, we need to sort the cameramans out over there. Good stewards, poor cameramen. We need to have a word.
Used to motorbikes, they're a little bit quicker, I suppose, around these slower corners.
Yeah,
so
that's it. They're not quite used to these cars going so slow around corner. They're miles in front of where the car is. Deeksen on board with him. That car in front is DJ Phil, who has got to stop. Alfie will be keeping a keen eye on when DJ Phil can do, and we'll know if he spins or anything or has a problem. So you'll see that time come down. Look at the difference in speed between Deeks and DJ Phil. Just looked like he had so much more momentum, did Deeks, coming through that corner.
Yeah, he does, and he has a lot more grip and confidence at this point. But Deeks last time around had a bit of a mare by the looks of it. You can see he did a 2:19 on the previous lap as opposed to Phil's 2:14. Sutty Apex in the comments say send it. I'm sure we'll be seeing a few Sutty send it tomorrow night around this track in the wet conditions. So that Sutty's
going to absolutely love tomorrow night. He's going to these corners are all corners you can send them on. There's not one or two corners to keep an eye on. They're all corners that Sutty can send them. That is for sure. Does DJ Phil pit this time round? Interesting, I'm just looking at the timing screen. Stovsloff in the 209s. So an interesting one then. Clearly has a bit of pace.
As he stuck the sticks on, maybe you were right. Track is looking dry in certain parts. The fog is obviously keeping it mildly moist.
DJ Phil's pitted.
Oh, here he comes. So pulling the trigger. Where's Alfie going to come out in relation to Phil?
This is the big one.
Final podium spot here, guys. Absolutely. DJ Phil pulls into the box. Let's see where he gets up on the jacks. It looks like he's going to be in and out here. And he's off and up and away by the looks of it. He's been given the all clear, but I think he's being held in the box.
I think the thing with this, the pit crew doesn't always show you what they're actually doing. He's away now, and I tell you what, I think he's pulled a blinder.
Has he changed to the slicks? He was in the box for quite a while there.
Liam's back in the pits.
So DJ Phil's just coming to the end of the pits now, and it looks like he's managed to clear Alfie, has he?
Great strategy. Great strategy. The overcut for DJ Phil. Yeah, that's top strategy. The overcut has worked wonders. He was 2 or 3 seconds behind Alfie before Alfie came into the pits. He's now 4 or 5 seconds up the road from Alfie. So a cracking strategy there from DJ Phil. That has worked an absolute treat. And if he has put the slick tyre on, he'll only pull away from Alfie if Alfie's kept the wet. So heartbreak for Alfie in the fact that he's not going to get that first podium of the season when we all thought it was going to come. Maybe he's drove a cracking race nonetheless. Take nothing away from Alfie. He's been absolutely superb. But DJ Phil looks like he's going to head towards his 6th podium. I said he could make the jump onto the top step today. He's going to claim that 6th podium, and that's what we're wanting to see here. Fantastic stuff from him. Big Boy Brazier is on the final lap of the race, and he's well in front. Where is Jamie Brazier? Is that with the cameraman's gone to Aidan Bennett here?
There we go.
Yeah. So where's this on track? Coming downhill. This is towards the long right-hander, I do believe. Nope, coming into the right. Then we've got the 2 lefts after this. So we're still heading downhill. But yeah. Fury in the chat says that he's scared for tomorrow night in the GTR. So I don't envy him in that Nissan. It's an absolute beast of a car to drive. So him and Emo Guy are going to struggle in that GTR in these conditions, but I'm sure they're more than capable of taming the beast and being able to rag it around the Brno circuit.
Yeah, you would hope that they would be. They'll definitely be getting setups sorted out. These two guys always put in the graft. They work together throughout the week, sit in their little party chat, and come race day, you don't really hear much from them because they're very much in cahoots, keeping everything hushed and quiet and very secret.
Stovsloff, look at that lap time. He's got to be on the slick tyre for me. 2:08.5, cracking time there from Stovsloff.
Absolutely fantastic times there from Stovsloff. He really is flying at the end of this race. As we can see, Big Boy Brazier coming in towards the last couple of turns now, and this man has been so dominant here this week. His internet looks like it's going to hold out for these final couple of corners. What a performance it is from this man here in the opening race of the night here at Brno, as he takes round 11 here of the GT3 Pro AM Series. Fantastic
Great
job
race
here at SimPlay Motorsport from Big Boy Brazier. Glad to say his internet did hold out and do the job. Brilliant job from him tonight. He's going to come around as best of the rest in the end, and DJ Phil at the moment is sat in a podium spot.
He's gapped Alfie.
Final lap.
He's gapped Alfie a second or so, yeah. I tell you what, hats off to DJ Phil. The strategy, the overcut. We said it earlier in the race. There's fireworks outside my ass. I think somebody must be watching Jamie Brazier keep his connection for a race. They're letting the fireworks off here.
It's Jamie Brazier in his garden after the race.
I don't know where in the country you live, Jamie, but someone set fireworks off in your honour, so well done, mate. But Deeks will claim a fantastic P2 after a dodgy start to the race, so a great job for him. We are just awaiting DJ Phil Green and Alfie to come round as well as the others. I think Welshie is finished behind.
In the meantime, we're offering a reward for anyone who's found the remains of Jamie Brazier's chimney, wherever he lives, somewhere out there.
DJ Phil, top job. Just slowly being caught by Alfie. A couple of tenths around that section there. But no, his strategy has been fantastic. He's driven a race of what you expect DJ Phil to drive. That's his teammate Aidan off in the gravel. So not the race Aidan would have wanted to.
It's been a tricky one for Braden here, fixed. He's going to pick up some good points though in P7, so solid job from him. Alfie's so unlucky tonight. Miss out on a podium spot. It looked like he was going to be taking AA 3D printing.
Oh, do you know something then? I thought he just... Sorry, I thought he just passed DJ Phil, but it was Aidan Bennett in the background. Because Aidan's not been here for the last couple of weeks, I thought DJ Phil had threw it away at the end, but it was Aidan.
Oh,
so apologies there. But DJ Phil now, cracking job. Deeks has finished. DJ Phil is going to claim another podium, his 6th here at SimPlay Motorsport. He's yet to make the step onto the top one, with a 6th podium nonetheless for him.
Phil Naylor says that's Jamie's church setting fireworks off. Celebrating
Absolutely
a sizable
brilliant
donation left on the collection plate.
That's brilliant. Well done, Phil. Top stuff. But Jamie Brazier takes the win then from Deeks. DJ Phil comes home in 3rd with Alfie, a top job in P4. Welshie will come home for a scruffy P5 at the end of that one. He will not be happy with that. Stealth Sloth will take 6th place. Aidan Bennett, 7th place. Good to have him back on the circuit, and a P7 for him. And Liam Gamer will take P8, fastest lap of the race. Goes to Stealth Sloth. So a heck of a job by him to get the fastest lap, clearly on the slick tyre at the end. But what a first race that was. As we head into the 2nd race, who are you tipping for this one? The top 5 obviously cannot qualify. Who are you tipping for the 2nd race?
2nd race for me has got to be Big Boy Brazier once again. I can't see anybody getting past this man.
From by the back.
Yeah, I reckon he's going to do it still. Pole position, my money's got to be on Stealth Sloth for pole position.
Yeah, Stealth Sloth or Cam, I think, is another one that could do it.
Cam is on the cards. Yeah, but I think, I don't know, I mean, are we due where it rain for qualifying, or is it going to be a dry qualifying session?
Dry qualifying session.
Dry quality. For me, it's got to be Stealth Sloth. I mean, he's the one he oozes pace in dry and wet conditions, but you saw there at the end of the race, he was lapping in the 208s. He's clearly got some pace around here. Just couldn't really get it hooked up in the race. His fastest lap was quicker than the race winner, Big Boy Brazier's. So, Stealth Sloth has definitely got some talent around this Brno circuit. And yeah, I reckon he'll be a force to be reckoned with in this qualifying session. Possibly we might get a podium in race 2. We'll have to wait and see.
Well, I've just redone the classification standings on the spreadsheet. Welshie still maintains an 18-point gap because Stealth Sloth got the fastest lap of the race. So the gap is still 18 points between Welshie and Stealth Sloth. Deeks is now only 18 points behind Welshie as well. DJ Phil Green sits 31 points behind Welshie. Big Boy Brazier has closed that gap to 54, so he's trying to make some inroads here. Liam Gamer has jumped Cam then into P6, so good job from Liam Gamer. Alfie's caught Cam as well after Cam didn't score, and Alfie had a fantastic race, but we'll have to see. MC Motorsport only pulled out 2 points in the Constructors' Championship there, and yet Team DPR only have 1 driver, so that's how poor a race we had there. Then who are we waiting on? Stealth Sloth, Cam, Big Chungus, Alfie we are waiting on at the moment then.
Gary there saying, how has Big Boy Brazier only got a rating of an E1497? That's because a good point, actually. Maybe he's dirty. Well,
the letter is the safety rating, so maybe he touches.
Maybe he causes trouble in online lobbies.
Possibly. And then the number is the skill rating. You start on 1500 straight away. But yeah, so it's only gone down 3, or has it gone up a bit more? It doesn't help disconnecting from sessions mid-race. That really affects your license.
That'd be the explanation for that. Yeah, he's just got the pace, but I think all those disconnections are probably racked up, and it's caused his rating to not really be like it should be. He's definitely got that potential to be a higher rating. He should really be, I'd say, by the pace he's got, at least a 1700. But yeah, certainly the disconnections will not be helping him. And so we've got Alfie in the lobby now.
Yeah, we are just awaiting Cam, Big Chungus and Stealth Sloth.
We saw a great performance from Alfie just now though. P4 in that race, and he looked so close to getting on the podium, but just missed out. DJ Phil taking yet another top 3 this season, and he's been on a roll so far here in this Pro Am series. DJ Phil has been so impressive so far this season. What can Alfie do here in this race to try and respond to that? Oh, it's going to be a fascinating race too.
Well, DJ Phil has been on the podium. Him, Welshie and Deeks have been on the podium 6-7 times between All three of them have been on it. Sorry, 7 times for Welsh, 7 for Deeks, and 6 for DJ Phil. He's got more podiums than Big Boy Brazier. So it just shows the consistency, and that's why he's currently sat P4. I will just double check the classifications after the drop score, see if that does anything to the table. Obviously we announced the full standings. We'll start to divulge into the drop score standings as well as people's drop scores start to come in. We are just waiting Michael, aka Stealth Sloth. His PS4's just had an issue, so he's just restarting the PS4. So we're just going to wait for him while we also wait for Cam and Big Chungus as well. Hopefully we didn't lose Cam due to some disconnection of internet or something. I only thought he retired from the race, but he's not yet back in the lobby, so I wonder if he had to do something. That is a shame if we have lost Cam. So after the drop score, Welsh actually leads the title race by Deeks from 6 points. So Deeks has really clawed his way back into this. DJ Phil's only 21 points behind after the drop score. Jamie Brazy is only 29 behind after the drop score. Obviously his drop score will be 0 due to internet problems. But because of the amount of race wins he's had, it's kind of kept him in this championship hunt here. So interesting that Jamie Brazier is still only 29 points off of Welshie. After the drop score, Stealth Sloth is back in, so we are just waiting for Cam and Big Chungus.
Jamie Brazier really does need to invest in an Ethernet cable, and he might actually have a chance in this championship coming the end of the season. He seems to be getting it consistently up there now. You know, he's got a couple of wins, got the win last week in the sprint race at Daytona. Unfortunately, fell foul of the Wi-Fi gods in race 2. Obviously, he hasn't been to church that week, but hopefully he has been to church this week, and we've seen a fantastic performance in race 1, so he'll be having his fingers, legs, toes and arms crossed for this race 2. Everything does stay above board. We've got Stealth Sloth in the lobby now, so I think we're just waiting on Cam.
Big Chungus has retired. Big Chungus hasn't, and I haven't heard from Cam, so I'm going to give it. I'm going to start the session now. They do have a couple of 8 minutes to get in, so yeah, they've got time to get in. I have messaged them both, but we cannot wait much longer. They've had plenty of time, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, with the drop score, Jamie Brazier only 29 points behind Welshie. Interesting to note that one. Obviously, it could differ after tonight. Obviously, the drop score is based off their lowest result of the season, or the lowest score of the season. Welshie actually drops 25 points from his standings. I mean, that's a lot of points to drop compared to Jamie Brazier, who drops none after a disconnection.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really challenging for him once, obviously, he does drop all those points. Welshie, coming into this one, was leading the championship, but he's had a bit of inconsistency lately, and that result just now will definitely not help him at all. Obviously, his teammate Stealth Sloth and Deeks, both big players there in the standings as well. I don't know how far behind DJ Phil is.
DJ Phil is only, based on the drop score system, DJ Phil is only 21 points off the leader. So, yeah, I mean, the classification is 31 behind, but has obviously gained 10 points through the drop score system, so not too bad for DJ Phil, to be fair. Gains 10 points. Deeks is the big gainer. He gains 12 points through drop scores and puts him into P2, so not too bad for him. So 8 gate drivers in the lobby. We are waiting to see if we can get some others back on the track. We are waiting for 2 others. So Welshie cannot qualify, Alfie cannot qualify, neither can DJ Phil, Deeks or Big Boy Brazy. So it is a shootout between Stealth Sloth, Aidan Bennett and Liam Gamer then. We should have Cam and Big Chungus in, but they are not with us tonight. Swimfin's problems obviously have still continued.
Alfie doing some bizarre actions here, just driving to the end of the pit lane and parking his car by that giant post at the end of the pit. So I'm not quite sure what he's trying to achieve with this one, but obviously Alfie won't be able to qualify for this one because he did finish 4th in that race 1. So he's probably just getting some practice in, trying to
he's just said he's getting a brake setting right, he won't set a lap. So
yeah, it makes sense.
Hopefully that is the case. So Big Boy Brazier will start last on the grid. Deeks will start in 7th place. DJ Phil will start 6th. Welshie should start 4th. Alfie's above him on the list at the minute. That's not because Alfie's on track, but Alfie should start in P4 then, depending on if Cam and Big Chungus 2 come back to us. It's a shame we've lost them too.
Yeah, I think it's because we'll get those guys back. Big Chungus did actually retire from the race before we even got to turn 1 in race 1, so surely he's got a point to prove and he'll be wanting to get back in here and show what he can do. I imagine Cam will be back here after the race that he was having in race 1. He was really up there.
He was.
In P2 for much of the race.
Yeah, he pitted and came out behind a few of the cars, and then he just seemed to disconnect. But yet others had to pit, so he was going to gain the places back. I don't know if he'd felt like he'd messed up somewhere.
Yeah, he was in a net 3rd place, and yeah, he was running well, but just unfortunately, I think maybe frustration got the better of him, and he retired with only a lap to go until he would have got points. So if he just kept himself going for another lap, he would have scored points for 8th place, become the checkered flag. But what's done is done, I suppose, and he can't do anything about it now. Hopefully he can get back in before we finish this race 2 qualifying session. But we've got 3 men in a shootout, as you said: Stelsloff, Aidan Bennett and Liam Gamer. Looks like Aidan's just coming out onto the start-finish straight now to start his first flying lap of the session.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting shootout. 2 Lamborghinis and a Porsche. Let's see who can do what in a dry qualifying. Liam commented on the stream earlier saying that I'm never driving this track again after tonight. Clearly feels that it's one of his weaker circuits after such a good Daytona for Liam. Had such a good race at Daytona. Clearly feels that tonight isn't going the way he wants. As Sloth nearly into the back of him in qualifying there. That's not what you'd want there. Flashing the lights from Stealth. Yeah, clearly feeling that Liam's holding him up.
But Liam Gamer more than entitled to stay in front of him. Most of these guys on flying laps, and Stelsloff could have very easily backed off and given himself some space before he started this lap, so he can't really have any complaints about Liam Gamer being in front of him at the moment.
I think the thing with it is, Andy, I think with it being a shortened qualifying session, you want that urgency of getting the laps under your belt, getting them in so you make sure you can get your fastest one in.
You do, but at the end of the day, what's 15 seconds?
No, but that's it, yeah, no, exactly. And I think the fact that we've not got Cam and Big Chungus back in,
it definitely gives them more of an opportunity, absolutely. You know, they've got a free track, so it wouldn't be that difficult for them to drop back, get into some clear air, and make sure that they get that run at pole. As to see Liam ultimately having to, well, it looks like Stelsloff has actually brought it, no, hold on. Yeah, he's brought it into the pits, and now he's re-emerging, so he's gone into some clear air here, and hopefully he'll be setting some quick laps. Oh, a bit of a slide there as he came through turn 1. He's trying to get these tyres up to temperature as soon as possible. He's not got that much time left in the session to do so, though. So he's now to try and get him to improve ASAP.
Maybe to push 3 laps, but I'd say only 2 laps he's going to get in, 2 flying laps. So he's really got to be on it as Stelsloff. Now he's pitted. He'd have probably been just better off backing off from Liam Gamer. So at the minute we should see Aidan and Liam getting a lap time in. I think Aidan Bennett will be the first one to make a lap time then. We'll have to see what is happening. For everybody who's in the stream, get them likes on the video. 16 people watching, we only have 4 likes. Get them likes up. If you're here, if you want to if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. Also in the comment section, if you want to, in the description, sorry, there is a link to the page if you want to give that a like, or a link to the group if you want to subscribe, like the group and inquire about joining the season. Also head over to motiveracing.com and sign up to their seasons if you're interested in getting involved in project cars or indeed Assetto Corsa. They run an Assetto Corsa League on a Sunday night. Great stuff over there. Or head over to their Discord server, that is Motive Racing. Also check them out. Saturday night is their next race for the GTEs and LMP2s. No, GT3 and LMP2, sorry. So go over to there. They're also live Sunday night, in which I'll be commentating, and Andy will be participating in the touring cars after a fun start to the season there Sunday night, Andy.
Oh mate, it was a fantastic race on Donington in the feature race. Probably the best race I've driven in my life ever.
You was on it.
Mate, I was absolutely on a mission. I was just, I went into the zone. But usually when I go into the zone, it's like a space of about 4 or 5 laps where I have to be on it. That whole race, I was in the zone.
Yeah.
I did not lapse. I was fixated on the screen. My arms and my eyes, my hand-eye coordination was on point. It was just everything just fell together in the right place. And I think the gap was about 35 seconds at the checker flag, but that will never ever happen again. That is one of those races that it was a perfect race.
Do you know what? I really envied you because I really wanted to. Donington's my favourite track. Love the touring cars. Love Donington.
Donning National, and ironically, Alton Park is actually my other favourite. And I could totally ballsed up the finale last season at Alton Park, but Donington Park, National, and Alton Park, they are my two favourite tracks on this game. And hopefully I can settle the score at Alton Park this week.
Well, we saw our very own Gary Leach come in as a reserve driver in the Motive Racing touring cars on Sunday night. Took a race win and a second place, so a good start for Gary in the BMW. Cracking drive from SimPlay Motorsport's Gary Leach. As we see, Aidan Bennett currently on pole, 4.5 seconds ahead of Liam Gamer. Stealth Sloth really on it here, as he's got to be to set a lap time. He's running out of time and will only get one more lap in, you'd imagine. Let's see what is going to happen in these final few moments of qualifying. Can Liam and Aidan improve? What can Stealth Sloth do? This Alfie's in a good position for a result here. Welshie starts P5. Big Boy Brazy's just got to get through 7 cars. It doesn't look like we're going to get Cam and Big Chungus back. Swinfin's, still clearly having pedal problems. Hopefully can get them sorted for next week. Join us live tomorrow night, in which, if you watch the Hot Lap video on Monday, how can I put this? I spoke with Gary last night after the Clio Cup race over at Motive, and he'd figured out he'd been running all his practice sessions in the dry on the wet tyre. So the hot lap you see from Gary on the video that went on Tuesday, this week, Gary did on the wet tyre, so he explains why he's sliding around a lot. So Gary actually found pace last night as he realised to change to the dry tyre. So
what lap time was he doing in the wet? On the wet tyre?
On the wet tyre he was doing like low 207s, 206s. And then he went to the dry and did like a low 201, high 2 minute. I don't need to tell you who's gone out there and beat the 2 minute marker, do I? I'm sure you can already guess who's got sub 2 minutes in qualifying. Yes, of course, it's Mazda. Sub 2 minutes in qualifying, ridiculous pace. Stealth Sloth has actually gone slower than Aidan Bennett by 2/10. Can Liam improve? Not this time round, but will get one more bite at the cherry and one more chance to do a lap time here then. Yeah, Mazda sub 2 minutes, it's ridiculous.
I'm pretty sure I didn't see anyone getting sub 2 minutes when Motive raced in the GT3s at Brno a few seasons ago. I'm almost 100% sure that the pole time was a 2 minute something. But 1:59 is absolutely alien pace.
The problem is he doesn't have the pace in the wet. He looks like he struggles in the wet, but the BMW has done all year in the wet, so we could. I'm already going to put a prediction in. Phil is my tip for tomorrow night. He looks on good pace around this track in practice.
Well, Phil was sceptical of your praises though in the comments. I saw him saying it wasn't going to be him to take the win, so he definitely doesn't rate his chances, but be interesting if he can. Phil did take a podium last week at Daytona as well. He was second, wasn't he? I think.
He was on. He got that podium, and that put him on a run of 5 podiums in a row. Race 1 and race 2 finishes, and then obviously couldn't get the podium in race 2, so that run ended at 5. But a good stint, a good second half of the season. Aidan Bennett here then is coming round. Can he improve? A slight improvement here. Is Stealth Sloth on a lap? I'm not sure if Stealth Sloth is. Only 3 can qualify here, so a bit of a tame qualifying session in this one. It won't be tomorrow night though. Top 5 can't qualify. We normally have a 15 car grid, so that'll be absolutely fantastic to see 10 guys qualifying in race 2. Spoke to Dean Wysocki earlier in the week as well. He thinks it's a bit more of an Acura track compared to Daytona. Thinks the Acura should do a bit better this week, so hopefully that is the case. We see Dean and Monkey Boy able to get some good results. We'll see what the Nissans can do with Fury and Emo Guy as well. Stealth Sloth has finished and will not take pole position, so Aidan just needs to cover off Liam Gamer here then. 14 thousandths of a second Stealth Sloth came from, but Aidan Bennett could be in for his first first pole position of the season here. A cracking start to race 2 this could be for him. Stealth Sloth done. Oh, Aidan's off, but that's not the man he's got to worry about. Liam's finished. So even though Aidan will not improve his time, he's going to take his first pole position of the season then. Liam did improve slightly, but nowhere near enough. Aidan Bennett on pole position for race 2 from Stealth Sloth. Indeed it is. From Stealth Sloth, Liam Gamer third. Alfie, P4 for him. Good start for him in this one. Welshie, P5. Can he have the better second race? Needs to now that Big Boy Brazier's fan internet. DJ Phil Green will start P6, Deeks in 7th, and Big Boy Brazier will start in P8. Who's your tip for this race 2? You still going Jamie Brazier from the back of the grid?
Yeah, Big Boy Brazier. I can't see anyone getting past him. As I said, he was so quick in that race 1. Even in the qualifying session, which we had in the dry, he was setting 2:01s. I reckon he's going to get through this pack reasonably quickly, and he's going to drive off into the distance. I'd love to be proved wrong, Matt. I'd love to see somebody give him a fight here in this race, but I just can't see it. He seems to have such an advantage, and everybody's already rated up very quickly here. Flashing the lights from Big Boy Brazier at the back of the field. Looks like Stealth Stuff also flashing his lights. Flashing the lights there from Liam Gamer as well. In fact, almost everybody doing so. As we go off the line, we are underway here for the race 2 of SimPlay, and it looks like a good start there on the inside from Alfie. Gets away very nicely from P4. Already up into second place on the inside, and it looks like we're seeing a squeeze there from Liam Gamer onto Welshie, but
he's tapped Aidan!
Liam taps Aidan round, and it looks like Liam just tagged his back there as he came to the corner, and Alfie's up into the lead coming through turns 1 and 2. Incredible stuff from Alfie. Stealth does in P2. We've got Liam Gamer, Welshie, DJ Phil, Big Boy Brazier, Deeks and Aidan to the back of the field after that collision there, coming through turn 1 with Liam Gamer.
Oh, Alfie's round at the corner, and he's got to keep it there. Hopefully don't get in the way. He's got in the way and has caught DJ Phil there. Probably a bit of a silly rejoin from Alfie, and has got in the way of DJ Phil. Big Boy Brazier is now running in P3, and he's all over the back. In fact, no, he's P2. He's already passed Welshie. So Stealth Sloth now leads this race. Oh, it's gone horribly wrong. Poor Aidan, who's running P4. Deeks up the inside. Oh, he's clipped the tyres. I wonder if DJ Phil caught him out on the brakes there, and Deeks just zoomed up the inside. A bit of a late lunge. DJ Phil getting out the way there then. Oh, that's Liam across the grass. Don't tap the back of him. He hasn't done. Alfie running P8 got such a good start. I think bit of a dodgy rejoin. That may be looked at from the stewards. Is that Aidan?
Inside into P3 there ahead of Aidan. So
no, Welshie was already. Welshie was P3. Aidan's attacking Welshie here.
Aidan, after that first corner collision there, getting tagged around by Liam, has come back really nicely. He's up the inside of Welshie, but he goes.
Oh, he's at brakes, Phil.
And Welshie immediately undercuts him there. So Aidan missing out there. Oh, Aidan's up onto the gravel. Aidan's up the track. He looks like he's lost lots of time. Deeks up into P4. Liam and DJ Phil both going past there into 5th and 6th, but Aidan Bennett, after getting pole position, his first pole here at SimPlay Motorsport, it has gone absolutely catastrophically wrong for this man. He's down to 7th place here near the end of the first lap. Stealth Stuff currently leading the way by Big Boy Brazier. Big Boy Brazier has got himself into P2, and we're not even done with the first lap yet. What a first lap from this man.
Yeah, he's had such a good start, and look at the run he's got coming out the final corner against Stealth Sloth. He's already just got his nose in front there then, and Stealth Sloth's already got his work cut out. Can he get a cutback down on the exit to turn 1? No. Big Boy Brazier just so late on the brakes compared to Stealth Sloth, already has that job done. One thing I will say is look at how quick Aidan caught Welshie. Welshie really struggling here tonight as DJ Phil is in the pits, and Liam thinks about closing the door.
Aidan almost made the move there. Oh, the big contact there! As Aidan tries to squeeze by, Liam Gamer tries to close the door, and it looks like Aidan's lost it. Aidan's off into the barriers, and that's allowed Alfie to move up into P6, but Aidan's struggling here in the opening couple of laps. It's gone from absolute high to the lowest of lows here in the space of just over a lap here at Brno. He took pole position in the qualifying session, but this race could not have gone any worse for Aidan Bennett, and he finds himself over 20 seconds off of the leader, Big Boy Brazier, who's taken the lead off the Stealth Stuff. What a start to this race from Big Boy Brazier. He started at the back of the field. He's already P1 and pulling away at the front.
Yeah, he's done a stellar job on lap 1, and Liam and Aidan just a bit of a tap coming through the first corner. Aidan ended up the worst out of that. Was it the right decision to keep it there? Did Liam give him enough room? We're not quite sure. The camera angle didn't provide the greatest of insights to that. DJ Phil has pitted at the end of lap 1, so probably to repair damage. So hopefully DJ Phil can get on it now and look for his 7th podium in the SimPlay Motorsport Pro Am League. Welshie really struggling here. He's not got Deeks closing in massively, but he just doesn't have the pace of the front runners. Look, 212s the front runners did last time round. Welshie in the 218s. something's not quite right with Welshie tonight. He looks like he could lose out on a fair few points here tonight.
Sorts.
Yeah.
I think it's not really clicking with him, and it's been the same for the last couple of weeks. I mean, he's running in a podium spot, let's not forget, but he's just, we've seen so much better from him. He's obviously came into this round leading the championship, and he's been consistent up until this point, but for race 1 really didn't go to plan. He's got Deeks just behind him on the track. He might actually be pulling away a little bit from Deeks at the moment. Let's keep an eye on the split times. Top left hand corner, 2:05 from Welshie there. What's Deeks going to do? So Welshie pulled out a second there, so Welshie's starting to maybe get a bit of fire in his belly and click into gear here, but it's going to be a little way for him to get up to Selsoft, currently running in P2. His teammate doing a good job here, currently best of the rest.
Well, he pulled.
Big Boy Brazier running off into the distance at the moment.
Well, she pulled a second on Selsoft last time around, so has gained a bit of time on Selsoft there, and we will see if that can be the sort of pattern going into the rest of this race. Cameraman has decided to pick up Alfie. Yeah, so we'll see. In fact, has he had a problem as well? She had a bit of a problem. No, that is just a gap. I thought it was a bit closer than 6 seconds.
Deeks still keeping on the back of Welshie at the moment, not letting him run away.
This is the interesting one for me with Deeks being there. I know Big Boy Brazier's winning the race, but Jamie's got a lot of things to do to gain the points back over Chris and Deeks and Selsoft. Deeks, though, just needs to pass Welshie, and he's only 6 points behind after the drop score, don't forget, so every little point he does, he gets.
Rain, Matt.
Are we?
We're seeing rain on the camera lens. It looks like we have got rain here in the Czech Republic. I just saw a very small drop there, and there's another one. It's very minimal at the moment. What do these guys do at this point?
Surely that's not why DJ Phil's pitted again. Surely that's too early for the rain. I mean, the wipers are on.
Wet tyres are going to be very overheated by the time the rain does come along. He's going to possibly have ruined those tyres before he even gets into the zone where he needs them. But you could see there DJ Phil pulling the trigger. Mate, it's a gamble, and I don't think it's going to pay off for him. The dry tyres are still the very obvious choice for, I would say, at least the next 2 laps. Big Boy Brazier coming around the last corner. He's surely going to stay out. Yes, he is. Are any of these guys going to pull the trigger and try and follow suit with DJ Phil?
With DJ Phil already pitting and making that longer pits, maybe having to pit for damage, does he have anything to lose? Is it all to gain by putting the wet tyre on? Selsoft, though, that's a bit earlier than I'd have thought from him, but we'll see what he can do. So that's the end of lap 3. The start of lap 4, he's pitted. Liam Gamer, he looks like he's struggling tonight, doesn't he? Looks like he's not had the best of nights. He's going to stay out. So an interesting choice from him. Alfie's only running 6th, Aiden only 7th place at the moment. Them two battling on track and are well behind Liam Gamer. Liam looks a bit all over the place for me. Doesn't seem like he's quite confident around this track. Alfie's into the pits as well here then at the end of lap 3. So let's see what can happen there. Big Boy Brazier leads by 14 seconds from Welshie at the moment. Deeks 3rd place, so a second to Welshie, so has caught up 9/10 on the last lap. So let's see what can happen here between Deeks and Welshie. Liam, oh no, I thought he'd span them, but it's the headlights that's not on properly.
Stuff's already closing up. It looks like he's Welshie's got that move. Obviously, it looks like looks like Deeks is talking a little bit now, actually, at this stage, Matt.
Yeah, Deeks just starting to gain, so Welshie potentially struggling. Now the rain's coming. I mean, Welshie struggled all night, but is he struggling even more because the rain started to fall? I mean, surely the rain's not making that much of a difference at the moment.
I can't imagine it would be, but it would be getting a little bit slippery, and obviously with the fog out there as well, it's the track's going to be more than just a bit mildly moist at this point. But the rain is extremely light on the camera lens. You can see it's barely falling at all. There's no real glint. There's no real glint on the track. You can't really see any sort of any dampness appearing. So I wouldn't imagine it would be too bad for these guys at the moment. The lap time's still coming in thick and fast. Big Boy Brazier actually pulling into the pit. So he's coming in earlier than I would expect. I would expect him to give it one more lap, but he's coming in.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a strange one, this. The track doesn't look wet enough for the wets, but yet we've seen plenty of people in the pits. Chris looks like he's losing time hand over fist compared to Deeks. In fact, Chris is now in the pits. So is Deeks. So at the end of lap 4 for Deeks and Chris as well, aka Welshie. Them two in the pit lane then. DJ Phil, who I think was the car at the bottom of your screen when we saw Welshie come out the final corner, will have the chance then to gain on these guys. Alfie's pitted as well, so is Stealth Sloth. The only person to not pit is Liam and Aiden left in this race. Interesting one here. Liam's actually now in the pits as well on the end of lap 4. I don't think it's wet enough here. I mean, the rain started to fall heavier, so have they pitted before the track gets slippy if they was to do one more lap? Aiden has decided to stay out. That's an interesting decision for me. Is it the right one? We'll wait and see. Stealth Sloth. Oh, he span.
Oh, Aiden's lost it, so definitely, you're absolutely right there. I think it's probably, maybe he's gone a bit too long. I was saying I thought that those dry tyres would be okay for another lap, but maybe those guys did make the right call. Obviously, they are on the track. We're not. We're only sat in the commentary box. We can only comment by what we can see trackside. These guys are experiencing it firsthand. And Aiden Bennett has definitely made the wrong call there. Minus a headlight, and he's got some visible suspension damage. You can see that car is moving side to side.
That's Christoph. He's gone straight on.
He's onto the grass. What's happened there?
I don't know. He's gone straight on there. I was about to say that Deeks has been jumped in the pits by Liam Gamer and he's nowhere near the back of Welshie. But Welshie went straight on there at turn 2. The cameraman's decided that Welshie's gone past. We won't pick him up. Alfie pits again. So Liam's jumped Deeks and there is Liam. Can he get that car and keep it in front of Deeks? This cameraman on this corner today is having a mare.
He is drunk. I tell you.
He's either drunk or just not there. He's not doing what he should be doing. Deeks, though, looking to get past Liam Gamer. Liam takes a very, very tight line. That was never going to work. Deeks just drives past him like he's standing still. Liam struggling tonight, though. But is he struggling as much as Welshie? Let's wait and see. Aiden's still yet to pit P4. These guys will be gaining on him hand over fist at the minute. So Big Boy Brazier leads 11 seconds up the road ahead of Stealth Sloth. Welshie currently sits P3 at the moment. Aiden 4th but hasn't pitted yet, so we'd imagine he will drop down the order. Deeks in 5th, Liam 6th, Alfie in P7 and DJ Phil in 8th place. Oh, Liam's had an off.
Yeah, and that front bumper is absolutely hanging off at the moment. So, oh, he's lost it. Liam is round here coming through turn 5 and he's going to spin it round, keep it out of the barriers, Liam. And it looks like he has done, but he's having all sorts of problems here on lap 5 of this race. And is he maybe still on the slick tyres, Max? He looks like he has no grip.
He's on the grass again. Yeah, had the team not put the right tyre on.
I think maybe they have failed to change to the wets there. That is absolutely gutting there for Liam. His team have truly let him down if that is the case.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if they have. Yeah, he's definitely on the slicks. You can see that.
He's all over the place, isn't he? No. He's got no grip whatsoever. He's just left, right, dancing all over the circuit. Aiden does come into the pits now, so he's into the pit lane as Deeks was all over the back of him then. So the end of lap 5 for Aiden into the pits, and we're pretty much halfway through, near enough halfway through this race, should I say, in race 2. Not the most cars out on grid. We've lost 2 drivers who haven't got back to us from race 1, so we are 2 drivers short. Swimpins didn't manage to get on with us tonight at all, but the cars, the field spread out. I know it's a half an hour race, but the car's a bit more bunched out than we'd have liked here as commentators. Not a lot of action to talk on, but nonetheless, this man so far doing exactly what he needed to do this week by managing to finish 2 races, and so far so good. I'm clinging onto my desk, don't worry Jamie, I'm not trying to jinx you at all here, but so far so good. I know one man that will be praying for a disconnection. That's the man sat in P3 at the moment. Liam has stayed out on track, so we think he was on the not on the wet tyre. He stayed out on track. So is this just Liam struggling? If that's the case, he's really having a torrid time of it. Alfie's in the pits a third time.
I don't know what's going on with Alfie here in this race, but Liam, she surely got damage on the front of that car. You can see that bumper is hanging off. It's clinging on for dear life at this point. And also, it does look like he's. It does look like he might actually. It's the damage that's making him drive the way he is at this point. But he would be so much better off just bringing it into the pit and changing the bumper, maybe repairing the suspension. But that would take quite a while, I suppose. He'd have to get up the jacks and get that figured out. But yeah, it just looks like that car's a bit of a mess at the moment.
Indeed,
number 76
does.
is really struggling, limping around.
I mean, Alfie came just back out of the pits. That's Jamie Brazier, I think, who's put a lap on him already. So Alfie, who had such a strong first race, is now a lap down to Big Boy Brazier. That's unbelievable to think how much 2 races can top and change like that then. For Aiden down in P6, DJ Phil currently sitting in 7th place. Not the race he'd have wanted after a poor first lap. He's been in the pits twice as well. Alfie's been in the pits 3 times. And for Alfie here, not really getting out the way of Big Boy Brazier like you'd have assumed. Surely he pulls over to the side here. I mean, for Alfie, just not the second race he'd have wanted like the first was.
Yeah, absolutely. Alfie is really struggling in this one. He was so close to taking a podium in the first race. He came 4th in the end. He was only 5 seconds off DJ Phil, but this race has not gone at all to plan. Big Boy Brazier lapping him. And it was, he looked like a good suspect in the way that he was failing to move over straight away, but thankfully Big Boy Brazier through without any more harm done. But Stelsloff 17 seconds behind Big Boy Brazier at the moment. Welshie currently running 5 seconds behind Stelsloff. Deeks currently sat in 4th place. These guys all still get to make their mandatory pit stops at the moment. The top 4 still need to come in at some point during this race. All the guys from 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th have already been in, so they don't need to observe that rule at the moment. But always will see Welshie getting a little bit wide there. But last time around, Welshie lost a few tenths to Stelsloff. But interestingly though, Matt,
lost a chunk of time.
In on both of these guys.
Yeah, he lost a chunk of time. 2.6 seconds he actually gained over Welshie last lap. So Deeks really on it here. Welshie, I don't know, these MC Motorsport guys, they don't look like they're showing the true colours today, what we know of them and what we've seen of them throughout this season. But DJ Phil, it just clawed his way back in the championship slightly. Good podium in race 1 and 2 pit stops here, excuse me, and a poor first lap have meant that he's down in P7 at the moment. Deeks though, the man to watch for me, bar Big Boy Brazier. We know how good Big Boy Brazier is out in the lead. Deeks the man to watch, currently P4 at the moment.
Yeah, and Deeks is doing a fantastic job here tonight. It's not had the easiest of races, it's been a bit inconsistent. He hasn't been mistake free, but he's definitely hunting down these guys at the moment. Welshie is going to be first in the firing line. The gap at the moment, 8 seconds between Welshie and Deeks. So Deeks has still got a little way to go, but if he keeps lapping 2 seconds of that faster, he should be there by about lap 10 or 11. So the later stages of the race will be interesting between these guys. Whether or not the rain is going to ease off and we're going to see dry conditions later on, we'll have to wait and see. It looks pretty similar to race 1 though, Matt. I can't imagine we'll be seeing any tyre changes before the end of this one. I think it's going to be full wets until the end. But having said that though, we saw Stelsloff making the gamble late in race 1, and he did end up getting the fastest lap, but I don't know if he lost too much time in the pits to make it worth it.
Yeah, Deeks pulling 8 tenths of a second back there. How much time did he lose in the pits that he's having to now claw back? 8.5 to Welshie, although you see that time tumbling down. Tell you what, I'm looking at the track map here, and one thing I'm noticing is Big Boy Brazier hasn't dropped Alfie on the track map. According, that's Deeks coming through. We've lost the cameraman again here at turn 2, so he's clearly still having a bad day. There is Deeks. Alfie and Big Boy Brazier just coming down to the right-hander at the bottom of the hill before they head uphill. So Alfie's not been dropped by Big Boy Brazier, clearly showing he's got good pace to sort of stick with the leader as well. Not right with him, but close enough that he can stay with him and race hard and race well. DJ Phil has just got past Aidan Bennett, so that's another place for DJ Phil gained there. Maybe team orders, we'll see. Aidan Bennett dropped well off the back of DJ Phil though, so not necessarily team orders as Aidan Bennett probably making a mistake. Liam Gamer is DJ Phil's next target and is on the exit of turn 1. So for DJ Phil, damage limitations in this one. The gap I'm still interested though is Deeks and Welshie. Watch that gap, see if that can come down as we head in towards the last half of the race now. Lap 9, Big Boy Brazier's just started off 15. So let's see who can do what. While there is just sort of not a lot happening on track at the minute, I think it's a good time to announce that next week there will be no league racing. We are going to do a special event around Silverstone Classic in the Group A cars for the people on Wednesday night. That's whether it's Pro or Pro Am, could be a mixed grid. And join us next Thursday night as Welshie off at the final 2 corners. That's going to help Deeks out no end here and give him some massive time over Welshie into the as they start their 9th lap. Join us next Thursday though as an 8v8 Motiv v SimPlay, same cars, same track.
Yeah,
that should be an absolute brilliant one.
Channels as well. So
yeah,
it'll be live to this one, the SimPlay Motorsport channel, as well as the Motiv Racing channel. Will hopefully be streaming to Facebook, maybe to both Facebook pages, hopefully to Twitch as well. So guys, if you've got any of those platforms, make sure you check that out. It'll be live on both channels for the 8v8 in the classic touring cars, the Group A's here on Project Cars 2. It's going to be absolutely fascinating. I'm sure it's going to be.
Do you have your drivers lined up yet?
We haven't got a driver's list sorted out yet. Are we going to? What I think we should figure out is whether or not we're going to be going for. Are we going to be lining up 8 random drivers, or are we going to be doing it based on a team selection? So
I think we should give it the best with the best against the best, shouldn't we? I think could be the
yeah, I tend to agree.
The good way to do it for the best, to make a brilliant video, that to see the likes of Mazda versus G. I mean, you could end up having the Leach brothers, one race for Motive, one race for SimPlay. We could have anything here, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting. I remember a few years ago, wasn't there one player played for, in the World Cup, there was one player played for Italy and one player played for Cameroon or something, and they're brothers.
Yeah, was it Germany, not Italy? Was it the Boateng brothers, something like that?
Yeah, Germany and Cameroon or something.
Yeah, Jerome Boateng and Kevin Prince Boateng or something like that, if I remember rightly. Brothers played against each other for 2 different countries. So could the Leach Motorsport, depending on who picks who up, as Jamie Brazier just puts a lap on Liam. Liam all over the place in a straight line there. Really struggling at the moment. DJ Phil has passed Liam, we've not seen on track. The gap to Welsh and Deeks out 3 seconds. Let's see, Phil says in the chat, it's interesting to see if Sutty makes the cut. That is going to be the key case here. Indeed it will be, Phil. Obviously I'll be in touch with the SimPlay drivers throughout the week, and I'm sure Andy will be in touch with the Motive guys throughout the week to see who makes the shortlist. Stay tuned for that one, then that should be an absolute cracker. There was a phantom video last night actually of Gary versus me in the Formula Rookies around Silverstone Classic, and probably the best move I've ever seen. Gary ran the outside at the chicane at the end on me for the win on the last lap. Heck of a manoeuvre that was. Jamie Brazier then, 30 seconds the gap is between him and Stove Sloth. Welshie a further 8 seconds behind Stove Sloth then, and Deeks gaining on the back of Welshie. The gap down to 2.8 seconds you see there. They're coming up to a back marker as well. Deeks really starting to reel in Welshie. That's Alfie.
Sorry, Matt.
Oh,
looks
yeah.
Like Liam's lost the position now. I don't know what happened to Liam coming through that particular corner, but he's all over the place. Yeah, Aiden as well. So Alfie on a charge at the moment, and looking to replicate his high-place finish that he had got in race 1. He finished in 4th in that one. Not going to finish 4th in race 2, but he'll be hoping that he can get some good points on the board. He might be able to reel in DJ Phil, who's only 10 seconds up the road now from Alfie.
He was 1.6 quicker. He was 1.6 quicker. He is indeed, and I tell you what, while we're speaking of lap times, look at Deeks compared to Welshie last time round. That was absolutely brilliant.
Oh yeah,
brilliant
he's
time.
On a mission. And Big Boy Brazier currently classed in the field, lapping in the 2:12. But Deeks, the closest man to him at the moment, is Deeks going to be able to put part of the pressure maybe on Stealth Stuff and Welshie, sat in 2nd and 3rd places.
Deeks, I think. Yeah, Deeks, I think, is the man to watch at the minute as we head on to. Look, we are on lap 10 of 15, so not long left in this race. So Deeks, the man on a mission at the minute, and he wants another podium here, and he wants to make inroads in his championship compared to Welshie and Stealth Sloth. Welshie going to lose out to his teammate here, you think, and possibly could lose out to Deeks here. DJ Phil seems too far back on these guys. 59 seconds behind Deeks is DJ Phil, so he's not going to get anything done in this one. But Welshie and Stealth Sloth, Deeks will start to see in front of him very shortly. As Stealth Sloth comes up and over the hill, you can just make him out in the fog here. Tomorrow night might be difficult. The cars are a bit, in fact, it might be easier actually with the cars darker colours. We just won't be able to tell them apart tomorrow night, but it should be an absolute crack around here in these conditions. Who's your money on race 1 tomorrow night then, Andy?
For me tomorrow night, it's got to be Gary. I know that the last couple of times it's been raining haven't been the best for him, but I just remember his performance at Nürburgring.
Yeah.
And I know he's going to have in the back of his mind that the operation is getting closer and closer, and I'm sure he's going to be wanting to get as many points on the board while he's got that sim rig at his disposal, because obviously he won't be able to use the pedals while he's rehabilitated, so he'll be racing on the controller for the end of the season, as you've mentioned.
Yeah.
So I'm sure Gary's going to be wanting to make the most of his opportunity whilst he's still got it, to use that rig and maximise his capabilities. So my money tomorrow night is on Gary for both races actually.
for both races. Oh,
both races.
That's a shout. That is an absolute shout. Sutty's just said he'll give him Gary his pad settings, so Gary's not got to worry about that. It's alright getting him his settings though, Sutty. Can he send them like you can? I don't think he can, mate. An interesting battle on the track map here between Deek Stovsloff and... Sorry, between Stovsloff and Welshie. Deeks has actually dropped off the back of that little battle. As he's trying to lap DJ Phil or Aiden, I'm not sure which one. But yeah, an interesting battle between the teammates here. MC Motorsport, like I said earlier in the night, going to race each other till the end of the season. Apparently no team orders coming into play, so this is going to be an interesting battle. As Stovsloff looked a bit wide there, but saying that, so does Chris as Chris comes round.
Yeah, at the moment Chris just watching his opposition, obviously his teammate, but very much opposition as well. These two guys, both in the championship hunt, and as you said, they're going to be doing each other no favours at the moment. Hopefully they can kind of keep it together though, because they've got Deeks not too far behind. But having said that, Matt, Deeks has dropped back by 10 seconds.
Yeah, he was lapping Aidan Bennett, I do believe it was, and he's lost a heck of a lot of time over Aidan Bennett then, as he was lapping him. So I don't know if there's been an incident there or he's made a mistake himself. I'm not sure, but yeah, really dropped off the back. 8 seconds. It was down to about 2 at one stage. It's now up to 9 seconds, 9.5 seconds. So maybe damage on that Lamborghini, and that's not done Deeks any favours at the back end of this race. But the teammates battling for second and third. This is going to be a cracking battle as we are on lap 12. So all we've got to do is complete this lap for everybody who's on the lead lap, and they will score full points here. Jamie Brazier looks like he's going to score points in both races tonight. That's a rarity. We've not seen this since Red Bull Ring. We've not seen... No, he didn't score points at... No, he did. He took 2 wins.
Red Bull Ring.
Yeah, he took 2 wins at Red Bull Ring, so we've managed to see him.
Really?
Pro Am, don't forget, he commentated on the Pro Group.
Sorry, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we could see Jamie Brazier for only the second time this season take points in both races, unless he disconnects before the end of this lap. Oh, God.
Oh, man, there'd be tears. There would be... He would be first man in the church on Sunday morning.
Yeah, taking off his money back. Just half, because he had a good race one.
Oh, jeez.
I think Andy's dropped his controller or his headset. I'm not sure what's happened there. But Stovsloff and Welshie, then the battle that we are keeping an eye on at the moment, it's really turning into something brilliant so far.
Oh, yeah, I might drop my headphones and they fell out.
Brilliant. The battle for P2 really hotting up. Just a couple of tenths between the two teammates there. You see them both. MC Motorsport, the green trim is Welshie, the blue trim is Stovsloff. And this battle, interesting. Don't forget, if these two have any problems, Deeks is only 8 seconds behind, so could really be on for capitalising on a problem between the two MC Motorsport people.
I want to point out that Alfie is still closing in on DJ Phil in battle 4, 5th and 6th. Alfie's now within 3 seconds of Phil at the moment, currently lapping about 3 seconds a lap faster, so he could be on the back of Phil by the end of this lap. He's still got time in this race. We've got 3 laps left to go here at Brno, and you can see there in the foreground, that's pardon me, that's definitely not Alfie. We're watching it, yeah, it's Big Boy Brazier. But Alfie's there, not too far behind Phil. There's Phil going past the camera shot, and there's Alfie. So it's very close now between these boys.
3 seconds quicker last lap, Andy. Alfie to DJ Phil. Yeah. Oh, in fact, was that DJ Phil off?
No, that wasn't DJ Phil.
No, that must have been Aiden. That must have been Aiden.
Yeah, Aiden Bennett having an absolute mare.
Get your votes in now for
pole position.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry, mate, go on.
Oh, that's Aiden round again. Oh, he's had a torrid second race. Get your votes in for driver of the day. Gary's just reminded me of that one. Big Boy Brazier or Alfie gets his vote. In fact, Alfie, great pace all night just for you. Yeah, I think Alfie's going to get my vote as well. He's shown great pace all night, and I think Alfie is the man. So 3 votes for Alfie at the moment. So everybody else who's in the chat, get your driver of the day in. I think it's hard to look past Jamie Brazier at times, but I think Alfie's had good pace. Kieran says Alfie, Big Boy Brazier for Phil. It's hard to look past Jamie Brazier when he has such good pace like this and has good races, as we see the MC Motorsport lads really gaining on each other here.
It almost feels like a bit of a insult to Big Boy Brazier not voting for him. Oh, sorry, it was.
Sutty's just said Big Boy Brazier has to 100% be his internet provider. We'll give his internet provider a ring and tell them that they've won Driver of the Day. Well done. But the MC Motorsport lads here really now gaining on the back of each other and are really starting to put the pressure on each other. Alfie's also on the back of DJ Phil. That gap's within a couple of tenths as well. So 2 battles on track, one for second and third, one for fifth and sixth.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're seeing Big Alfie's now all over the back of DJ Phil here. These guys, nothing at all separating them with 2.5 laps left to go here in this race. Alfie getting a little bit wide there coming through that section of the track. He's lost a bit of time. So DJ Phil's now got his a bit of a fight on his hands here for this 5th place spot. Both of these boys were fighting out for the podium. They've been battling out all night. DJ Phil came out on top in race 1, but Alfie is reeling him in and lapping 3. Still,
look at how quick he is through that corner. Look at how quick he was.
Yeah, what's going on with DJ Phil?
This Porsche, this Porsche looks fantastic. He's pulled out now and he's going to be up the inside. Phil's going to try and squeeze him, but he knows he's there. And look at Alfie, just so much more confidence.
Net on the brakes, but he's got the move done there.
Job done.
The car stopped fantastically, and Alfie is going to take a 5th place to follow up his 4th in the previous race. Some fantastic points for this man tonight. Looks like Welshie's dropped off a bit of
yeah, that's what I owed out there. I just noticed he dropped off. I didn't know if he'd had a spin, but hasn't dropped off too much. Deeks is actually still catching this pair, and it's a shame that he's lost so much time. Yeah, it's a shame he's lost so much time, because Deeks would have made it a 3-way fight, would have been a fantastic scrap till the end. But sadly not to be the case. Jamie Brazier coming through Sector 2 at the moment on the track map. He's the little red dot you see. So he's coming uphill now to gain towards his last lap of the race. Still got a bit of a battle for P2 though, so don't worry about that one. Alfie though still will have to defend as well from DJ Phil, although to be fair, that one looks all but done. Deeks. Yeah, there is Alfie. Where's DJ Phil behind him? Yeah, he's a 1.2. I think that one's done.
Yeah, so it's mainly down to this one here, 2nd and 3rd, but Welshie dropped off a little bit off of Stelsloth on that previous lap. Stelsloth was 2 seconds quicker almost, so now it's just about Stelsloth managing this gap, keeping this car going until the checkered flag. With only a lap and a bit left to go here at Brno. Welshie's keeping him within his sights. He's not going to let his teammate get this 2nd place without giving him at least a little bit of a concern at the end of this one. But I think Stelsloth has more or less got this one home and has.
He's off!
Onto the gravel.
He's well
off! The barriers. He's almost into the barriers! And
where's Deeks? He's coming
very close here.
This is going to be tight, Andy. I can't believe Welshie's threw it away at the last minute. There he is. We're going to be heading uphill now to start the last lap of the race for these guys in just a moment. But Welshie went deep and has really threw away P2. And is he going to chuck away a podium? Chris not on the podium. If I'm right in thinking, this will be the first track. Yeah, this will be the first track he doesn't finish on the podium. If Deeks can get past him. DJ Phil has repassed Alfie, and Alfie's dropped well off the back. What's happened there? Has Alfie made a mistake? DJ Phil well in front of Alfie now. 6 seconds the gap. Oh, so poor Alfie. I mean, he still gets vote for driver of the day, but poor Alfie, this has been the problems today. Deeks though, last lap on the back of Welshie. This is going to be absolutely brilliant because Welshie now has really got to be on it. That's Aidan Bennett towards the left-hand side of your screens. Welshie now cannot make one single mistake here. He knows that Deeks is going to be on him.
Yeah, Deeks is really closing up onto him. Obviously, he's been given a bit of a lifeline here as Deeks because he wouldn't have been expecting to get a podium until a few moments ago. Welshie just went a bit deep into the corner, probably sensed that he was losing touch with his teammate Stelsloth, and now Deeks has been thrown a rubber ring. And is he going to take it? Is he going to want to send one up the inside? We see Welshie got a little bit wide there, but Deeks is just going to be sensing an opportunity. Can't quite get the close enough at the moment, but he's just sticking to his rear end as the cameraman decides to take a day off there.
I tell you
coming
what,
through turn 4.
You mentioned rubber rings there for Deeks. We need it with the amount of rain we've had here.
Yeah,
look at Deeks. Look at the speed he's got through the corner compared to Welshie. Welshie really struggling. Deeks has just got confidence here, the grip. Oh, Jamie Brazier has won the race. So well done to Jamie Brazier. He's got his second win today. Hats off to him. Stealth Soft looks like he's going to come out and take a comfortable second. But here comes Deeks, side by side with Welshie at one stage here. He's going to look on the inside. They touch.
On the inside. Oh my goodness me, Welshie goes a little bit deep into the corner. And Deeks just can't get the move done at the moment. He's on the outside for the next corner. Welshie once again having his car in all the right places. Deeks is now coming into the final few corners, still unable to make that move on Welshie. This is the corner where Welshie made that accident on the previous lap. He went wide onto the grass, almost went into the barrier.
Oh, he's got deep! He's got deep!
He's done it again! Welshie goes wide!
He's out!
Oh
Deeks!
no! Deeks takes third place!
I cannot believe it! He's threw it away 2 laps in a row, and Deeks is going to inherit a podium. The first time the championship leader will not finish on the podium. Absolutely scenes here in the Czech Republic. The fans can't believe it. There's no fireworks for Jamie this time outside, but Stealth Sloth is going to come home for a P2. And I was about ready to input third on Chris on Welsh's time, but it's not going to be the case. Well done to Stealth Sloth. Hats off to you. You've drove a fantastic race. And this man has fought so hard. But a double podium today. A second and a third for Deeks. Cracking drive from him at the end. Welshie is losing ground in this championship battle. It's a good job DJ Phil's no closer, because he could have gained a 5th place in this one had it not been for lap 1 dramas. But for Welshie then, oh, it's gone horribly wrong right at the end.
Well, she could look back on this race and see this is the point where we lost his championship. If the championship battle goes down to the wire, then he may be ruining that last lap calamity. He did the same thing we did on the previous lap into that right-hander coming down. And you said earlier on, it's a tricky one to get right. You can either go for a late apex or try and get the car turned in early. It's very much down to driving style, but looks like she was getting it wrong. Lap after lap, did the same thing 2 laps in a row, and ultimately dropped off the podium because of it. Big Boy Brazier takes the win. Stealth Stuff follows him home, 1 minute and 12 seconds behind. A dominant performance once again from Jamie Brazier. Who can stop this man here in the Pro Am Series? If it wasn't for his internet, he would be romping home with this championship.
Indeed he would. He takes the win and the fastest lap. 2 wins and a fastest lap for him tonight. He'll be absolutely buzzing. 51 points, so not maximum, but close enough. And for Chris then, he's going to be absolutely seething with it. He made a couple of mistakes at the end there, and he needs now to get his head back on. As I'm just looking at the standings, the gap between the championship normal classifications is 11 points between him and Stealth Sloth. Big Boy Brazier is within 41, and if I look at the drop score, the gap's 4 between Welshie and Deeks, 7 between Stealth Sloth and Welshie, and Big Boy Brazier has pulled it back to 16 points gap between the 2 championship main contenders. Big Boy Brazier, Slav is one of the main contenders in this, so just 16 points is the gap. But it's been fantastic action here in Brno. Join us tomorrow night for he's managed to just comment, my internet can stop me. We'll see what happens for the rest of the season, but join us tomorrow night at 8 PM for the Pro Lads, where Sutty, Gary and the others will be joined again with Andy, so it'll be a pleasure to commentate with you. I enjoyed commentating with Andy. It's a good little partnership we've got going here.
Always a pleasure.
But from all of us here at SimPlay, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and you all take care. Good night.
Thank you, guys.